On the bridge where the tide can't flow, snap vivid like the Nikon. Been cold with the vibe warm, keep it locked like the vice arm. They got her twisted like the coat arm, heart something froze like the snowstorm. Her tote bag match a throat charm. She from the land of the sand where they flex so subtle when her drink mint muddle. Left home and her man in the game that he played for the sand of the shade. She parades you the square in her shades. She like why you do that, niggas be deceptive. Young pretty restless, long as the check is addressed to a residence. She self-heal therapy, she beat 10 on clearance, but she shopping for clarity. Reap what she sold for the dividend. Know what time is the medicine, copping the wristwatch. Cartier with the bezel on the credit, demanding hers where it's due. I swear she's so sadistic, defensive, pessimistic, reclusive. She too lit, independent. She too quick to dismiss courtship, concerned with malice. She pile up as the bout ends. She throws a talent. She clutch a half full chalice. Sip you from fountains. Check her rap. She chic, maneuver mountains. Fly away with you. Escape the negative. I'm just trying to let fly away with you. Escape the negative. I'm just trying to let. So girl, come on, let's fly. Girl, come on, let's fly. I let the thumbnail distract me from the bigger picture. Losing sanity to misplaced feelings. Real shit kept keeping her makeup bristles. Hotline bling, she sent 1,000 kisses. I just tracked, I sold 1 million tickets. I'm way too focused on this image lately. My mind is racing, 1,000,000 miles a minute. No time to slide, I guess I'm bad with distance. I never text you back, lately my thoughts they drifted around the shots to keep us all from losing who we are. We're products of a generation where we swiping left across the interfaces. All my mind I tend to be evasive. Yeah. All to notice how the money made us. Girl, come on, let's fly. Girl, come on, let's fly. Girl, come on, let's fly away. Girl, come on, let's fly. Girl, come on, let's fly. Girl, come on, let's fly.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you guys can hear me okay or everything is looking and sounding good, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me or the video or audio is looking and sounding kind of weird, give me a thumbs down or an angry face and I'll try to fix it. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early, all right? Shout out to the people over on Twitter. I don't know who you are, but good to see you guys watching. Shout out to my man Lloyd Sky 9. We got Gail at Night in the house. Shout out to Gail at Night. Make sure y'all show Gail at Night some love. Gail at Night is not only a mod extraordinaire, but she is a YouTuber also. If one of the mods would be so kind as to put Gail at Night's channel in the chat so people can go check her out, that would be great. All right, so shout out to Gail at Night. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Win Loser Rug. And shout out to Leonard D. Yuta. You know what I'm saying? My man Leonard D. Yuta said, the Dr. Diddles saga continues. Facts. And we're actually going to have discussions about it over here. You know what I'm saying? We're actually going to have discussions about the information that's being put out and talked about. You know what I'm saying? So let's actually check out a lot of this stuff, right? Title of the video, Suge Knight gave Diddy an ominous warning of possible things to come, all right? Apparently, Diddy and Suge Knight had a phone call, and in the phone call, Suge Knight revealed something to Puffy. We're going to talk about what was allegedly revealed to Puffy eventually. Right now, what we're going to talk about is CNN's take on how Diddy's business empire may, quote unquote, be impacted by the allegations. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Do you all feel that Diddy's business has already been affected by the allegations? If you feel that way, then how? If you don't feel that way, then let me know why you don't feel that way. I'm not sure if the sale of Revolt had anything to do with these allegations, but I think it's very interesting timing, right? And as far as anything else goes, I'm not really up to date on Diddy's business dealings to know what has or hasn't been affected. I know one thing, it doesn't seem like this situation is affecting any of Diddy's business the way that the Kanye West situation affected Kanye West. Kanye West got de-billionaired. You guys, if you guys remember Kanye West getting de-billionaired, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't remember that, then give me a thumbs down. I don't know if that has happened to Diddy yet, but it could definitely happen in the future, especially if some slam dunk evidence comes out. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta agree. I agree with Leonard D. Yuta. Revolt sucks anyway. It's an illusion. Facts. Let me ask you guys this. What has Revolt done to provide a better media narrative for anybody? One of the things that Diddy used Revolt for was to attempt to hijack the political talking points that occurred prior to Biden being elected, which is interesting because it seems like a lot of people forgot about that or either are very forgiving. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there, though. Let's check this out.
Sean Diddy Combs' empire is on fragile ground. Feds raiding 2 of his homes just this week in connection with a sex trafficking investigation. This comes in light of the hip-hop mogul facing a growing number of accusations of sexual assault. A new Washington Post piece notes this marks a stark contrast from the image Diddy has portrayed over the years. Senior critic at large, Robert Given, writing...
Now, it says that this is a stark contrast to the image that Diddy has portrayed over the years. Let me ask you guys this question. What kind of image have you all interpreted from Diddy's portrayals? The way that Diddy conducts himself. Now, they say about Diddy's portrayal, right? His record company is called Bad Boy. So if you name your company Bad Boy, what kind of image are you giving off by that? Let me know what you guys think.
quote, while others might have emphasized their tough guy bona fides, their experiences in prison, or the dangers of their childhood, Combs painted a picture of a kind of hero. He put a Gatsby-esque sheen on whatever he touched, and he had his hands on everything.
Now, this is an interesting interpretation of how they allegedly perceived Diddy. Let me ask you guys this question. Do you all perceive Diddy in the way that they just read here? Not only do I not perceive Diddy in that way, and not only have I never perceived Diddy in that way, but I think it's interesting that they're saying that that's the image that he tried to portray, because I never really got those vibes. Did you guys ever get those vibes of Diddy trying to portray himself as that? Diddy, to me, kind of seemed, I mean, just seemed like, regular, everyday, confident, overconfident type cat. I didn't really see him trying to be no hero. I didn't really get that vibe from him. You know what I'm saying? But let me know. I could be wrong.
Robin Javon joins me now. Robin, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining. And your piece, as always, excellent and so thought-provoking. As you know, he has been involved in a number of ventures. But in light of what is happening, there was all the white parties, there's a charter school, there's Sir Rock, just to name a few, Sean John. Right. Tell me about the cultural impact that he has made.
Well, I think when you look back on his career, he was at the very forefront of that sort of generation of hip hop performers and producers who really aspired to be something beyond that. They wanted to be moguls. They wanted to build empires.
Shout out to Leonard D. Yuta. Shout out to Jerry Beffert. What's good with it, bro? Leonard D. Yuta says he stole Bad Boy from a popular shirt company we all used to wear in the early 90s. Little bro. See, check this out, right? He did that name of Bad Boy the same way he did a lot of those beats. A lot of those beats he borrowed. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say he stole them, because clearly, you know what I'm saying, he took the proper procedure, got the copyright, got permission, and was allowed to do a lot of sampling, right? But when we go back and say he did a lot of sampling, yeah, he did a lot of sampling. You know what I'm saying?
And he really,
but again, you know what I'm saying? And, because of the narratives that's put out, and because the sides that people are trying to take, and because of the way people are trying to monopolize and control the narrative, we have to put in a disclaimer. Criticisms of P. Diddy don't necessarily mean that we are indicting him on a basis of absent evidence. For some reason, it seems like a lot of influential people seem to believe that outside of this, people just can't have issues with Diddy in the way that they perceive Diddy as doing business. If we do, we're dumb, we're jealous, or we're just so stupid that we have to jump on board with WS. There can't possibly be any other reason that we would have any type of issues with Diddy, because, none of us paid attention to any type of hip hop or anything like that. None of us paid attention to all of the people that left his label. None of us paid attention to any of the broken bridges or fractured relationships involving Diddy. Nope. We have to all shut our mouths. Yeah. Sorry, no.
started that. And, when he started Sean John, it was 1998. And, he was, first of all, one of the first celebrities who entered the fashion arena. But he did it in a way that was very much about becoming part of that industry.
Shout out to Torian. What's good with it, bro?
He courted editors. He started going to fashion shows. He did it in a way that suggested that he wanted to do it for the long haul, that it wasn't just dabbling. And he just kept building on that. And I think in many ways, he wanted to create this picture of himself as a kind of, Gilded Age titan. And, and not that hip.
Right, exactly. Shout out to Leonard D. Yuta. None of us caught them zesty lyrics. No, right. None of us listened to We Are the Street, or none of us listened to any of the Mace interviews, or none of us saw Black Rob sitting up in the hospital trying to figure out why this dude is broke. We all didn't. None of us. We didn't see that. And also, in addition, we're all dumb. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? We're all dumb and jealous. You know what I'm saying?
Pop was bootlegging, but I think there was a lot of that sense of wanting to polish up the image of the culture that he was coming out of, and that's what he did.
Is that all on shaky ground now in light of all these allegations? I mean, you look at how quickly we begin to evaluate one's legacy in light of allegations.
Shout out to Anna. What's good with it, Anna? What's been up with it? Hopefully everything is all good your way.
In spite of the presumptions of innocence that certainly are there, and there has been no charges.
Yeah, I mean, he's denied all the accusations. There haven't been any charges, but already we're starting to see that some
shout out to Wallow J. What's good with it, bro?
Organizations that were affiliated with him have started to back away. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, the idea of guilty until proven innocent, when you've lived so much of your professional life in the public, you tend to be quite quickly judged by that public.
You know, when
okay, so now here's what she said, right? Check this out. She says when you live your life in the public, you tend to be judged by the public, right? That's kind of true, right? But we got to ask this question. When it comes to Diddy's public life, what has he illegally publicly done that is evidence enough for an arrest warrant or an arrest? Have we been presented with that yet? A lot of the stuff that Diddy has done, not much of that has been done in the public. A lot of it is in speculation, and there's a lot of things that got settled behind the scenes. So there's a lot of behind the scenes speculation, right? But if we separate that from what Diddy has done publicly, my question for everybody is, what has anybody publicly, verifiably witnessed that Diddy has done that's illegal? That's my question. And the thing is that when she says this, if there is something that fits that description, then CNN should follow up with the clips and the receipts. On March 10th of XYZ date, Diddy was doing this. Clip of that. Attached police charges. Attached video. Documentation. Court docket number. Right? That's what you would think. That's what you would expect. Right? So now my question is, what did he do in the public that is indictable? We know that there's a lot of shade behind the scenes and a lot of things that got settled, but she said when you're in the public, you get judged by the public. What has he done in the public that would give him a guilty verdict by the public is my question for you guys. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comment section. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. If you all have not smashed the like button yet, please take a moment, smash the like button. Also, if you guys have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and please share the stream to your social media.
You look at some of the accusations, I think there is a collective, immediate recollection of the Me Too movement and the broader Hollywood context.
Shout out to Miss Niecy. What's good with it, Miss Niecy?
I wonder how you look at these charges in light of the Me Too movement. Is this something?
Here's how I look at the Me Too movement. Here's my question. How many women have ever gotten arrested as a result of the Me Too movement? How many women have been Me Too'd by men is my question for you guys. And my question is, has anybody ever asked that question before? As it pertains to Hollywood. Now, as far as the Me Too movement, when it comes to the Me Too movement, the majority of cases that we know about that have been high profile, that were discussed on a public forum, did most of those cases result in a criminal prosecution and conviction, or did they result in a settlement from a lawsuit? That's my question for you guys. Let me know in the comment section the answer to that. And if you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay gang, let me know in the comment section.
Similar on the horizon here more broadly?
Well, I mean, I think there's definitely, they're definitely related, because some of these charges came out because of the extension of the statute of limitations. But I also think that it just really sort of makes me wonder if on the road to building these empires, if there is just always some sort of trail of, alleged devastation and disillusionment and pain. I mean, he wanted to build this enormous multi-million-dollar empire, and he certainly did, and then started getting into philanthropy.
But now, again, when it comes to, shout out to Shamika, what's good with it, Shamika? When it comes to this news clip, I want you guys to pay attention. in this news clip, are they discussing evidence that will generate a search warrant? Are they discussing evidence that will generate an arrest warrant? Are they discussing evidence that's been found that will generate a prosecution? What they're doing is speculating on Diddy's businesses. My question for you guys is, how is this significant to the fact finding? What facts can we generate out of this that'll help us lead to the conclusion whether Diddy has been involved in illegal sex trafficking or not? Let me know what you guys think.
And I think it raises perhaps some cynical questions about, where's that philanthropy coming from? Is it coming out of guilt, or is it coming from, a different place? I think not that.
Now, here's another question, right? She says that the philanthropy that Diddy does, is it coming out of guilt or is it coming out of another place? Have you ever heard them question whether philanthropy comes out of guilt for anybody else who's a philanthropist? Anybody else that gives donations, any other millionaire, billionaire that has a lot of money that donates to causes? When it comes to Bill Gates and the Gates Millennia Fund and all of that stuff, the Clinton Foundation, does anybody ever ask, are those things being done out of guilt? I think that these are very interesting questions, and we have to pick through this stuff with a fine-tooth comb until we find actual, tangible, hardcore, indictable evidence. And in this clip, they're not really alluding to anything right now. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
I'm putting those things on, Sean Combs, but I think this raises those questions because we see this so often.
We are really in the infancy of the investigation, and those questions are yet to be answered. And I suspect there'll be hundreds more by the time we learn even the next step.
All right, so there's that. All right, so next, what we're gonna do again. The reason why we're going over all these clips is because we've got to find the relevant information. Shout out to MoFax. What's good with it, bro? MoFax said they did it to 45 Savage. What's that, the Me Too? Now, here go my question with the Me Too, bro. Has a woman ever been Me Too'd by a man? And why not is the question, right? Because the Me Too is supposedly a movement that's supposed to be for justice for everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? So now here it says Sean Diddy Combs owes nearly $100 million in mortgages on luxury LA and Miami mansions raided by feds. Okay, so now here's my question. What does this do for giving us evidence as to whether he sex trafficked or not? How is this? Oh, question of philanthropy. Okay, I got you. Now my question is, can we get any information out of this that'll tell us whether or not he was sex trafficking? We're now talking about the money that he owes on these homes. Sean Diddy Combs owns nearly $100 million in mortgages on luxury LA, Miami mansions raided by the feds, report. Here's my question. Why are we not why in the news do we not have pieces of information that discusses what was found at the mansions? Oh yeah, there was that one sentence that said guns were found. Why do we not have articles, write-ups, and opinion pieces on what was found at the mansion and what the next steps are with what was found at the mansions? Why don't we have that? Why do they keep giving us these fluff articles is my question. Sean Diddy Combs owes nearly $100 million in mortgage payments on a trio of mansions in Los Angeles and Miami that were raided by federal agents this week, according to a report. The embattled rapper took out 8 bank loans, totaling a whopping $140 million to pay for the sprawling properties, the Daily Mail reported. The Department of Homeland Security searched the homes on Monday as authorities investigate a range of allegations, including sex trafficking against the 54-year-old music mogul, who Forbes estimates to be worth roughly $1 billion. Combs bought his LA home, located in the elite Homely Hills neighborhood, for $39 million in August 2014, according to the Daily Mail. The estate includes 8 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, and an underwater swimming tunnel. That's interesting. Okay. So now here it says to fund the estate property, he took out 2 mortgages from Bank of America, each for $25.35 million in 2014 and in May of 2021, the outlet reported. Neither appears to have been paid off. The former mortgage is due to be paid off in full in August of 2029 and the latter in May of 2036. In addition to the LA pad, he also purchased 2 neighboring mansions on Miami Beach's exclusive Star Island. For one of the Miami properties, a 9-bedroom and 12-bath waterfront home he bought from Sony music head Tommy Mottola for $14.5 million in 2003. He's taken out 5 mortgages totaling $68.45 million. So now here's my question for you guys. What is the purpose of this article here? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. What's good with it, Brooklyn Queen? What's the purpose of this article here? What unearthing information are we getting out of this? Shout out to MoFax. MoFax said, I thought they just said Diddy was a billionaire when he was being used as a tool against Ye. See how fast they break their tools. Facts. Shout out to Mimi McCoy. What's good with it, Mimi? Yeah, I got to agree. And shout out to Val. What's good with it, Val? If you guys agree with Denise, Denise says putting all Diddy life on display. Yeah. And another thing that they're doing is they're showing all of his monetary value, you know, to basically say this individual has to fight his own battle. You know what I'm saying? When you show people that don't have a lot of money, somebody having a lot of money, if there is any empathy, that's a weapon that can be used to take away any empathy because they say, well, they can fend for themselves, which, I mean, you know, Puffy is out here on his own. He is going to fend for himself. As much damage as Puffy has done, if you ask me, he don't deserve anybody out here playing defense lawyer for him. He's done a lot. Even when it comes to, these are allegations, right? So we got a lot of people that are sensitive out here that are, you know, anybody that's critical of Diddy, you know, we're clearly jumping on the side of WS and all of this. That's not true. There's people that have issues with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm critical of Diddy, right? But I'm not going to sit there and say that he should go to jail without evidence, which is why we keep combing through these articles for evidence. But if we take away the sex trafficking and we talk about Diddy as an individual, I don't understand how you can appreciate somebody who literally attempted to hijack the entire political movement. Like he did that. He did that. Like he did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just take away, like, you know, there's the speculation, and I'm looking for this stuff for evidence, right? But, like, why are we acting like this is not the dude that literally tried to hijack the no tangibles, no votes in you know what I'm saying, in the 2020 election? Like, he literally did that. That's not stuff that every record executive does. Yeah, exactly, Gail. Facts. He still did people dirty. He has a track record of relationships falling through. He burns bridges. People's families aren't taken care of, and there's a pattern of that. Like, no, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that at all. How many people remember Diddy hijacking the voter die, or you know what I'm saying, whatever that the voter die or no tangibles, no vote? He did that. Shout out to Mr. King. Shout out to Jesse. What's good with y'all? He did that. That's important. One of the things that people think is a big deal is about people understanding the political system and either voting for the Democrats if they offer something tangible, right? Or not voting for the Democrats and voting for your political interest. Diddy tried to derail that. He actively took apart and literally put it on his back to try to derail that. You know what I'm saying? And I do agree, Val. Facts. It's part of a smear campaign. Diddy doesn't have the best character, but they have to prove his trafficking. I agree 100%. Facts. Facts. And you know, it's just weird, man. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the people that seem to work to want to free the minds of people to get people to be able to vote more efficiently. I don't know what kind of character a person can have if you use your influence and you use revolt media to try to distract from that. Again, that doesn't make him guilty of sex trafficking, but what does that say about him, though? And all of the people that have criticisms of Diddy, people have had criticisms of Diddy forever. People criticized his business dealings. There's always been how many people prior to any of this heard all of the jokes about, oh, that must be something that went on at a Diddy party. Literally nobody is jumping on with what's going on now to go in on Diddy. The people that have had issues with Diddy always have been going in on Diddy because he's weird. What's going on now is that there's another group of people who have an issue with Diddy. And what people are trying to do is act like there's some type of coalition between the new media attention that Diddy is getting and the OG criticisms that Diddy has gotten. And that's not cool. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? It's intellectually dishonest. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, again, we can sit here and say, well, you know, people are trying to dogpile. We're not the people that's trying to dogpile, because I literally in no stream that I've ever done have ever said without evidence, throw this man in jail. I never said that. I've been criticizing the media and saying, where's the hardcore evidence that has come from all of these raids? Because as many raids as they got, I mean, do they even have enough to give him a parking ticket? But what I'm saying is, like, why, I'm not going to sit there and act like all of a sudden Diddy has just flipped around and like now he's a shining light of integrity. Like, nah, man, that's not the case, because he's not that. And I'm not going to give him that. He on his homeboy, you on your own. The very people that say hold your own nuts, like, I mean, like, let this nigga hold his own nuts. The hell? I said the same thing yesterday, bro. Facts, straight out of Neely Fuller Jr. This is how racial showcasing looks. Bro, this is right here. This is the part, right? And they literally, shout out to Hip Hop Cartoons, in the video, the animations that Carlito used in that video, it literally was Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre, I think, and Diddy was part of that animation too. If y'all not subscribed to Hip Hop Cartoons and know the video that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta agree with Mimi. I mean, to me, like, I you know what I'm saying? Like, Diddy don't strike me as a grassroots type cat. He strikes me as a cat that was created by the machinery. He was, you know what I'm saying, somebody that was manufactured. You know what I'm saying? And again, you know, just because I don't like him, I'm gonna sit here and tell you I'm biased. I don't like him. Never have liked him. It don't have nothing to do with the media piling on him. You know what I'm saying? And again, if they don't find if they don't find no evidence of this, right? I'm not sitting up there saying that they should just railroad him without no evidence. I'm not sitting there saying that. You know what I'm saying? You got people that's going around on the internet that anybody that criticizes Diddy, oh, you know, they just hoping that, you know what I'm saying, WS railroad. Nah, like that's not it. Which is one of the reasons why I keep asking the media, why haven't they come with any evidence yet? But you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never liked Diddy. Never. And I ain't about to go back on that just because, you know what I'm saying, like, people in their feelings right now. If people in their feelings, they need to straighten their feelings out and think clearly. The very people that tell everybody that they get emotional too much, when it comes to something that they might feel invested in, they shouldn't really be the poster people for emotion. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, Deformed Pretty Boy. What's good with you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing wrong with looking at this stuff for, you know what I'm saying, with an objective eye and asking for more evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not caping for him. And it's also not saying that he's not guilty. It's just, is the media and law enforcement going to do their job or not? Which we know that in most cases, neither of them are going to do it. Oh, and shout out to Wallow J. We're going to touch on that in a minute. Shout out to MoFax. MoFax said, could this be used as a wedge issue between black men and black women? I don't, here's the thing, right? Gender content people are going to find a way to make anything an issue between black men and black women. Yo, them people on YouTube found a way to make Johnny Depp and Amber Heard something about black men and black women. I think The Root did that too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people got creative manipulation tactics where they could take anything. They could turn this into some anti-Bitcoin shit somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on the content creator and their agenda. Now, as far as my agenda goes, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to see if they have evidence, right? If they have evidence, I want to see how the court case plays out. And I want to see if our assessment is consistent with what they find. That's my agenda. But I'm going to be upfront with you and tell you off the rip, I don't like Diddy. So you know I got a bias. Here go the bias. I don't like this dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't like this dude. But I'm telling you this up front, though. But even with the bias, though, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I think, I feel. You know what I'm saying? And because I think and I feel, this is how things should be. Nah, things should be consistent and they should follow the rules and follow the standards. I don't like Diddy, but I ain't in no position to say you should put this man in a cage if the requirements are not met. No, I don't think that should happen. So what we have to do is we have to check the integrity of the media and check the integrity of law enforcement and see if they're doing their job properly. And if you ask me right now, the media and law enforcement have not done a sufficient job at what they claim to be trying to do. If they were doing their job, he would be in handcuffs and we would have a court date, or he would be out on bail or out on bond and we would have a court date. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, with the shout out to the people in my chat, if you guys feel one way versus the other, it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay. We're gonna go through this journey together and see what is discovered, and we're gonna compare what's discovered with our logic and rationale. You know what I'm saying? I think Diddy's a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people that's weirdos. That weirdo is not always criminal. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is. That's what we're trying to find out. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, bro. It like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you know, like that gets under my skin. Like, man, people should be able to have freedom of thought and freedom of opinion, and the information and the accuracy of the information should always be the determinant. It should always be the determinant. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's got to be integrity. If you ask me, bro, like that's extremely important. You know what I'm saying? So now it says here, to fund the elaborate property, he took out 2 mortgages from the Bank of America, each for $23.35 million in May of 2014 and 21. The outlet reported. Neither appears to have been paid off. The former, okay, we already read that. So now here it says, so far he paid off the $42.35 million, the Daily Mail reported. The 10-bedroom, 6-bath mansion next door was purchased in July of 2021 from Gloria and Emilio Estefan for $35 million. For that property, he only took out a single home loan for $20.7 million with Bank of America, due to be repaid by August of 2036. That means across Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes, he's taken out 8 mortgages with a whopping $139.85 million. Again, none of this is information that came out of that raid. And none of this is information that's enough to provide an indictment or to put him in court. So you have to ask yourself the question, why is the New York Post spending the money and the advertising hours on posting this article? Leonard D. Uda got a good point. I'm going to let y'all read that. I'm going to give y'all a minute. I'm going to let y'all read Leonard D. Uda's comment, and then I'm going to ask y'all if y'all agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, then give me a thumbs down. And believe it or not, we're actually going to get into that East Coast, West Coast stuff, because I actually thought, did anybody else think that it was odd that Diddy and Suge Knight had a conversation? I always thought that they was like kind of rivals. I didn't know that they would really be like on a speaking basis. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says roughly 97.5 million remains outstanding. The music mogul likely has other properties throughout the country. Diddy, again, so as you guys notice, one thing that has been consistent in all of these articles is that Diddy has not been charged with any crimes amid the ongoing investigations. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man AB Promotions. What's good with it, bro? Make sure y'all show AB Promotions some love, setting it off with the first super chat. Shout out to you, bro. Good to see you in here. An officer with the Department of Homeland Security told the Post that the case has been active for several weeks, and authorities, quote unquote, believe, remember what I said, that there's a disturbing history of sex trafficking, said the Miami-based officer who spoke under the condition of anonymity. Now, again, why is he speaking under that condition? At least 4 Jane Does and 1 John Doe have been interviewed by New York prosecutors in connection to sex trafficking allegations and a RICO case. All right. Now, these people have been interviewed. Raids have been done. No arrest yet. And trust me, if there is an arrest or some evidence does come out, we're going to definitely be looking at it. We're going to definitely examine it. We're going to definitely check that out. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to get to the bottom of this, and not in the way that Diddy is alleged to be getting to the bottoms. You know what I'm saying? So now what this is right here is just more background on the allegations. So we're going to check this out real quick.
Switching gears just a little bit to the mounting legal woes for John Diddy Combs, whose homes were raided on Monday by Homeland Security. Investigations that are alleging that he has some sex trafficking.
So now, again, it's been, what, 6 days? The homes were raided on Monday. What did they get from the homes? Have they gotten anything yet? Is there an inventory manifest? Is anybody else getting arrested? Now, see, the thing that's interesting about it is that the alleged drug mule, he didn't get arrested because of Diddy. He got arrested because he had possession of some type of marijuana and stuff like that. Shout out to JB Easy. What's good with it, bro? So, like, out of all of the investigations so far, what has come? All of the information that they're drawing all of this speculation from, most of it comes from the civil trials. But now they have done raids. Where's the rest of the evidence? And another thing is that all of the civil trials, unless there's some type of court order, most of that information should be public, right? It should be documented. So why are these news media outlets not taking the information from the civil trial and putting the part that people are saying this is why he's getting indicted up on the screen for people to look at? Let me know what you guys think. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys. We got 25 people watching and we got 18 likes. If everybody could take a moment and smash that like button and get us to 30, that'd be great.
Trafficking claims.
So the bombshell allegations only intensified throughout the week. Here to weigh in on the downfall of a hip-hop icon once again, defense litigator Ari Aramesh. Thank you, Ari, for coming back in. We talked to you the other day. We're going to get into the correlation, I guess, between some of the civil complaints and criminal complaints when it comes to it. But I do want to ask you, since we've seen all the pictures of the alleged.
Now, have you guys noticed that when it comes to all of the quote-unquote experts, even the people that they claim are the experts of hip-hop, none of these people are having discussions with black people? Now, I'm sure, you know, there's some black people that would say good things about Diddy, and I'm sure that there's some black people that would say bad things about Diddy. But I just find it interesting. Why do you guys think that that is?
Mule in this case, right? The hoodie on, going in and out of custody. And then we heard from Diddy's attorney saying this is a witch hunt for him. Do you get celebrity treatment in this case? So, for example, in this case, could you see a lot of people maybe go down, but then Diddy survives it?
Every time you have the possibility and the luxury to afford good lawyers, you're going to get better treatment. Let's just face it. It's not about being a celebrity or not. He can afford very good counsel, and being able to afford good counsel is going to, you know, open up a whole host of options. So now let me back up a little bit. What his defense attorney said the other day about this raid being a military-style raid. Not so. I mean, this is typical defense attorney stuff, trying to spin a really bad news day. There's evidence and there was intelligence that people in the house had guns. P. Diddy himself, Sean Combs, has had a history of accusations of violence and so on and so forth. When you go in to enforce.
Now, the thing is that here's the thing, right? With the history of accusations and violence, are any of these history and accusations of violence documented legal interactions, or is this just speculation, rumor, and settlements? That's my question for you guys. Let me know what you think.
And to execute a search warrant, you have to be careful. And that's why law enforcement has the freedom, has the luxury, has the ability and the authority to go in and go in with force. They brought with them, you know, many armed agents, Homeland Security investigation agents, and also with armed vehicles. Guess what? They did find weapons on the premises in both properties. Now, they could be somebody else's. They could be legal.
Now, again, see, he says that they could be somebody else's. They could be legal. So now, guess what? I bet you if they search the premises hard enough, they'll find a salt shaker and a pepper shaker. So if he has guns there and those guns are there legally, if those guns were significant, because you are allowed to keep a firearm in your home as long as you meet your legal requirements, what's the significance of them saying that? Now, this is the second piece of content that we've looked at where there's been a focus on the quote-unquote guns. But if the guns were illegal, they could have immediately gotten a search arrest warrant and detained Diddy or whoever the gun owners are, right? But they didn't. Literally no legal recourse has come to Puffy as a result of these guns. So my question is, if what we're doing is trying to file charges, why do we keep discussing things that were found in the raid that are not leading to charges? Let me ask you guys this question. Do you think that there was a mop and a dustpan and a broom on the premises? Why aren't they talking about that? Do you guys think that there was forks and knives? Why aren't they talking about that? What they should be talking about is if there was a stash of illegal drugs found. If there's, you know, sensitive pornographic information on the hard drives of some of the computers that they took. If there's text messages or messages in the cell phones that show some type of evidence of, you know, weird interactions. As of right now, none of that has been produced. Not to say that it may not in the future, or not to say that it may in the future. But as of right now, that's not what we're dealing with, and that's not what we're being presented with these media clips. So now my question is, again, when it comes to this, they've already done raids, right? They already have several civil lawsuits and settlements. Where is the news media content on the actual evidence? Why do they keep making content after content about speculation? There's a reason. There's a reason why they would do that. What's the reason?
Legal weapons, whatever it is, but there were weapons there. They got to be careful. They're executing a search warrant. What it is now, though, is that no charges have been filed against Sean Combs yet. So he is not a criminal defendant yet. We have to see how.
There it is. And see, they have to put that in there, or else there's a possibility that once this is all said and done, there would be legal recourse for libel and slander. Shout out to Val Williams. Val Williams says, character assassination. I don't particularly care for Diddy, but he has the right to due process. This is trial by media. I agree with that statement 100%. If you guys agree with Val, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I agree with Val 100%. Absolutely. I'm not a fan of Diddy at all. But you just can't yank people off the street and throw them in jail. Or if they try to do that, that needs to not be done without some form of, you know what I'm saying, integrity test or, you know, resistance, or at least a double check and balance. You know what I'm saying?
Things develop. And again, I like a country where the wheels of justice move slowly. That is the, you know, we got the 4th Amendment, the 5th Amendment, the 6th Amendment, the 8th Amendment against harsh and cruel punishment. You have a whole host of amendments in this Constitution.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Facts. Shout out to Win Lose or Rug. Win Lose or Rug said he's being destroyed publicly, even without proof. So much has already been rumored. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like all of the people have had these rumors about Diddy for years. It's not like the media came with this and then like everybody just jumped on this yesterday. People like you can go back and watch comedians, you can watch comedy sketches. People been talking about Diddy and all weirdo stuff he be doing or allegedly doing. Like this ain't nothing new.
They're not to protect, you know, the idea behind it was this: you'd rather have someone who's guilty, but getting all the benefits of the doubt, than going too fast and putting someone in prison who is innocent. That is a crime of.
Yeah, look, I want to talk about that, Ray, just a little bit more. So they were actually looking for certain evidence to use in their investigation. What may be something that they could find that could be used against him?
Now, I want you guys, what the black dude said is important, right? He said they're looking for certain evidence that can be used against him. Now, they've done 2 raids, looked for this certain evidence. Diddy is still free, and he's not free because he paid a bond. What that must mean is that indicting evidence that they're looking for, it either doesn't exist or they haven't found it yet. But if you listen to the way that the media is you know, presenting this information, the media is presenting this information as if there's already a slam dunk case, and you know what I'm saying, there's already slam dunk evidence in a slam dunk case in process, and there's not. Like there's just not true. They don't have that yet.
What may be something that they could find that could be used against him?
Videotapes, and videotapes. Okay. We saw in there were 3.
So now again, right? So for anybody who tries to listen to my live stream and say Rob is sitting there caping for Diddy, if you say that I'm caping for Diddy, then right after you say that I'm caping for Diddy, you better say that this attorney here is caping for Diddy too, because this attorney literally just said the same thing as I said. You need some videotape. You need some tangible physical evidence. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to MoFax. MoFax says, what blows my mind is Hunter Biden media coverage versus Diddy media coverage. Bro, that's facts. That's facts. And I don't know if y'all have seen my Hunter Biden coverage, but y'all need to make sure y'all go and check it out. My Hunter Biden videos I got all the crack pipe thumbnails. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all go and check out my old Hunter Biden content. I'm going to put some new Hunter Biden content on Megatron. But again, so and right here, the lawyer said that too. One thing that they don't want to do is they don't want to rush and put an innocent person in jail. You know what I'm saying? Or do the investigation wrong and let a guilty person free. So literally, this lawyer is effectively saying the same thing that I'm saying. Comb through the data until you get the slam dunk and then focus on the slam dunk. And in my opinion, everything that everybody is claiming is a slam dunk is either old settled civil cases, which may or may not be able to be used, and rumors. Would you guys, if you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
In this Constitution, they're not to protect. You know, the idea behind it was this: you'd rather have someone who's guilty, but getting all the benefits of the doubt, than going too fast and putting someone in prison who is innocent. That
So again, right, what he's saying is literally how we're going through this data. So now, again, if somebody tries to sit there and say, well, you're caping for Diddy, well, I'm attempting to go through this data in the same way that the legal system is going through the data and making the process. So if I'm caping for Diddy, then so is the legal system. Because this lawyer literally just validated that you should go through this kind of information in the same fashion that we are.
That is a crime of...
Yeah, look, I want to talk about that, Ray, just a little bit more. So they were actually looking for certain evidence to use in their investigation. What may be something that they could find that could be used against him?
Videotapes, videotapes, and videotapes. Okay. We saw in... There were three...
Right. Videotapes, videotapes, and videotapes. And how much of Diddy's digital media did they take? They took computers, you know what I'm saying? They took discs and all that. So if there is any kind of videotape evidence, more than likely, they probably either have it in their possession or there is none and they don't have it. More than likely, they don't have it because if they did have it, he'd be arrested right now. And we'd have a court date and some charges. But we don't have any of those yet. They have a bunch of stuff from the raid, but we don't have any charges or an arrest.
Civil lawsuits against Mr. Combs. First came about last year in 2023 by Miss Ventura, talking about sex trafficking, sexual assault, and actual physical assault. Another one came about a couple months later, again in 2023, by someone who claimed when she was a young 19-year-old college student, he sexually assaulted her. And then the last one was by one of his colleagues, someone who worked for him, and this one was filed in February of 2024. He specifically mentions videotapes that Sean Combs and a number of his, let's say, co-accused videotapes, some of these sexual assaults, some of these sexual acts, and they brought in people underage, and these are all now, we have video evidence of it. Now, that's exactly why you want to hit both homes at the same time. You don't want to give them time to try to delete evidence, get rid of evidence, but videotape, it's very hard to deny that.
The so-called smoking gun in this particular case.
It's going to be the smoking video, yes.
Yeah. So,
right. So what they're talking about is the quote-unquote smoking gun, smoking video, which they don't have. So again, literally they're saying the exact same thing that I'm saying. So basically what this video clip does is this video clip validates why they repeatedly keep talking about speculation. They're talking about speculation because nobody has the smoking gun yet. And if nobody has the smoking gun yet, that explains why Diddy is still out on the street. That's not caping. That's just the literal situation that's going on right now. Would you guys, if you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
you mentioned the civil cases that are there. How much are criminal prosecutors looking at what's in the civil cases?
It is not uncommon at all that a criminal indictment develops out of a civil lawsuit. Now, let me break it down. A civil case is when you and I have a dispute. Now, let's say you and I have a dispute, you hit me in the face. I can sue you for damages. I can sue you for money. I can say you assaulted me, you battered me, you owe me $200. That's a civil lawsuit. You're not going to lose your freedom over it. But I can go to the cops, to law enforcement, and they can bring another case against you. That's called a criminal case. It's an indictment. And they say, you know what, people of the state of Maryland, people of the District of Columbia, people of the state of Virginia against Steve. And what happens? You can actually lose your freedom. So you got criminal cases.
So this is why I think that people...
Now, here's the thing, right? What this lawyer didn't say that he left out is that, yes, a criminal case can develop as a result of information that's produced from a civil case, right? However, in most cases, that information from the civil case, that information would be subpoenaed, right? And that information and that testimony would be evidence linking to an affidavit that would allow the arrest or charge of that individual criminally. Say, for instance, if there was evidence and proof that came out that somebody got raped in a sexual, in one of these sexual harassment or sexual abuse civil cases, that evidence, that portion of that case could then be ascertained by law enforcement, and that testimony used as evidence to sequester a suspect. As many of these cases as there are against Diddy, no portion of those as of yet has been used to do that. Would you guys agree? And that's what I'm trying to explain. I hope I'm not being like too long-winded or going around, you know what I'm saying, beating around the bush with it. I hope that makes sense. So again, my question is, has that happened? If it hasn't happened, will it happen? And then what happens next? As of right now, clearly it hasn't happened yet, which tells us what? Now, the thing is that when it comes to this and we're looking at these things, these aren't debatable questions that I'm asking, right? Like, these are things that are outside of the realm of debate. These are things that we're literally seeing in news reports. We're not able to have access to information that hasn't been produced by the court or by law enforcement. We only have access to what's already happened, what's been released, speculation, and rumors. No judgment call can be made on that except for, pattern recognition and people saying, well, something doesn't look right here. Now, again, I'm not doubting that something doesn't look right when it comes to dealing with Diddy. However, as far as these particular set of allegations, law enforcement or the media hasn't produced anything enough to put handcuffs on Diddy because they're not on him yet. I mean, again, I don't understand why people are the way that they are on YouTube, but like literally that's the reality that we're like, that's the reality that we're living in. Like, that's an undeniable fact. It's an undeniable fact that Diddy hasn't gotten arrested yet. Like, that's not caping for Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand like where the disconnect is. You know what I'm saying? But would you guys agree? Let me ask y'all this. Would you all agree like that there's a severe disconnect with reality when it comes to how a lot of people are looking at this case? If you guys would say that there is, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would say that there isn't, then give me a thumbs down. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 35 people watching and we got 42 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 50, that'd be great.
Got confused a little bit because when you saw the civil case between Diddy and Cassie, and they already said, well, they settled that right away, right? So done, but not so.
Well, when you file a complaint, a civil complaint, you are verifying that these facts are true, or upon information and belief these facts are true. If you are a law enforcement agency, local, state, or federal, and you're taking a look at this this civil complaint that alleges sexual assault, that alleges the presence of minors, that alleges a sex trafficking, you better look into it. And what you do is you do a little investigation. You go to a magistrate judge or to a judge, get a search warrant, and that's exactly what happened here. So if you're involved in a civil lawsuit, talk to a lawyer. If you have a search warrant against you, talk to a lawyer. Again, and I always tell people, if police officers could do something, they wouldn't ask you for permission. Can I take a look at your house? If he could, he wouldn't be asking that question. If they have a search warrant, make sure that search warrant is valid. It has to specify where they're looking at, what they're looking for. It has to be valid. What are the challenges that a good defense attorney would bring against this search warrant would be to fight the validity of this warrant. Chances are it's pretty valid, but we're going to see what happens.
And we don't know yet, but there is the chance that
why is the chances are that it's valid? I think that there's a 50-50 chance that it's valid and it could be invalid. I mean, like, I don't know the information that was presented to the judge to get the warrant. Let me ask you guys this. Is there anybody in the comment section that knows the exact information that was presented to the judge to get the warrant? Here's a better question. Does anybody know who the judge is that signed the warrant? Let me know.
that someone like Diddy in this case could incriminate themselves just through the civil process.
Highly likely, and it happens, especially when people don't listen to their lawyers and like to go on TV and talk.
Yeah. Long way to go on this one for sure.
That's like DJ Envy. Right? That's like DJ Envy. Now, shout out to Leonard DeYuta. I don't know if Leonard DeYuta is still in here, but there was an interesting clip that came out that News Nation put out, and we're going to take a look at it. And what it is it's Chris Cuomo interviewing a federal agent. I think this guy is a federal agent who investigated the Tupac situation. Okay. So let's check this out.
Bring in former FBI field agent Phil Carson. He spent years looking into the policing.
So again, just pay very close attention when it comes to the quote unquote experts on this quote unquote hip hop quote unquote situation. Again, not very many. They're really doing a great job of talking around black people. I think that is interesting that when you look at the mainstream media, I think that the mainstream media so many times has made it a point to talk around black people. It's almost like many people may not even notice that that's happening. Would you guys agree? It's almost like it's become just like routine. Like if you see black people being locked out and blocked out of the conversation, it's like, well, this is just news. These are just the news people talking about the news. They haven't even interviewed like any hip hop artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually like if there was an archaeological find, they'd interview an archaeologist. Now, as far as this goes with with the lawyers, they've interviewed a lot of legal experts, right? But they haven't really interviewed anybody involved in the hip hop world and said, well, are the things that they're alleging P. Diddy of commonplace? Yeah, when I was 14, you know what I'm saying, and I was auditioning at XYZ record label, I went to a party and saw some strange things, and somebody asked me something, and I was kind of weirded out by that. Literally no news network has given anybody a platform to speak to or against the relatability of the actual degree of realistic tangibility to the rumors and allegations that are being brought about by people against Diddy, which I find interesting. That would be something that you would think would be important for the testimony, right? Because if they can establish that this is a kind of commonplace thing, that's something for public opinion as well. But they're so hell-bent on making sure that black voices are irrelevant and not listened to by the population at large and looked at as a joke and a comedian every time we open up our mouths, or DEI, and we're so dumb that we can't even talk for ourselves. We have to have a white representative or a white conservatorship. It's just routine now to just see this, what you see right here. This. You got Chris Cuomo and a Fed. Shout out to Cameron. What's good with it? Now, again, right? That's the media. They're doing that. Nothing is stopping, celebrities and hip hop artists to go and talk to black media platforms. But so many of them are just so far out of space, they don't even realize that they're being ignored. Or they look down on us. They look down on us and they only see News Nation as a valid platform. Well, I'm not going to talk unless I can talk to News Nation. Why would you not up our value and say, I'm only going to talk if I could talk to, Black Light Revelations, or if I could talk to Torian, or if I could talk to TD? I could talk to Mo Facts. They look down on us. They look down on us. You know what I'm saying? Even the people involved in this case, the people that's alleged victims, you would think would want to try to get their word out to everybody. They don't see us as having value. They got to atone for that, man. They got to pay for that. They're part of the problem of why our platforms don't grow. Like they would go on if this was like, some Taylor Swift type shit or something like that, they would go on Timcast. They would go and talk to the Quarterling. They would let Mark Dice do an interview with him. They look down on us. They look down on us. Ice Cube would go talk to Joe Rogan before he even gave me or TD or Torian or Kid Gravity a time of day. They're part of the problem. I'm not going to go over there to that ghetto StreamYard struggle streaming. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, struggle streaming. My bad that I don't have a $5 million budget. Maybe I don't have a $5 million budget because I'm a DEI and I don't work as hard as everybody else. That's literally how these people look at us, man. None of these people deserve us being their defense attorney because none of these people are our offense attorney. Screw these people, man. All of the parts and pieces got to fit together in order for it to work. I'm not about to jump out the window and these people can't even, hey, I can help you out if you help me out. They're not even looking at me for any kind of help. Man, screw you. I don't care what the hell happens. Like, for real, like, these people, they on their own, for real. I'm covering this because I'm interested in it. I'm not about to sit up here and play defense attorney for nobody because ain't nobody playing offense attorney for me. That's the whole point. They supposed to, though. You're supposed to, like, see, like, shout out to Gala Knight. Gala Knight, no, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all know, but shout out to my man, Moxie Approved. Kwame Brown, you used to rock hard with Moxie. He used to react to a lot of the videos that Moxie did because Moxie did a lot of good coverage and good reaction to Kwame Brown. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, Moxie was able to utilize that. Kwame Brown, because he was really doing well on YouTube at the time, helped to get eyes on how talented of a content creator Moxie Approved was. That's what they all are supposed to be doing. And don't none of them do it because they look down on us, man. They look down on us. They look up at News Nation and look down on us. None of these people deserve our defense. They need to be victims to the elements. If it just so happened that we're analyzing data and something comes out favorable, it's not because I'm playing Johnny Cochran for you. Because in most cases, as good of a lawyer as Johnny Cochran is, these people will pick a Stein or a Berg over him if he wasn't Johnny Cochran because they're so dumb. You know what I'm saying? If Diddy wanted to have an interview, which he won't, and he said, I want you to interview me, Blacklight, I appreciate you, Val. Y'all deserve it, man. I work for y'all. I work for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's a 24-hour job. Facts. Shout out to Mo Facts. Mo Facts says that's why OJ picking Johnny was so huge at the time. Facts. And then Johnny Cochran, as a result of the OJ trial, right? Not speaking to, you know, what went on at the trial, as far other than Johnny Cochran being triumphant, right? He was able to show the world how good his skills were. Now, is Johnny Cochran a DEI? Shout out to you, Win Loser Rug. I appreciate you, bro. And see, this is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. These celebrities, they look down on us, man. They look past us. Why would I go on Rinky Dink Blacklight Revelation? Yo, they could even go on. I mean, okay, you think that my channel is Rinky Dink, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no, you know what I'm saying, 5-6 digit subscriber count. Okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You want to get the most exposure. Mathematically, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Why ain't they going on Club Shay Shay? Philip Scott got 1 million subscribers on Africa Diaspora channel. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. You want somebody with 1 million subs? There go 1 million subs right there. Go talk to Phil Scott. Raise the stake, raise the price, raise the value of African Diaspora News Channel. Nah, they're gonna walk right past that and go talk to News Nation. They're gonna go talk to the New York Post. They're not even gonna retweet us, man. Why do these people deserve anything from us? Shout out to AV Promotions. Facts. Facts. AV Promotions said everyone knows Rob is your favorite YouTuber. Bro, facts. You know what I'm saying? We got to ask these questions, bro. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Yo, Win Loser Rug. Did you see when Hotep Jesus had called into my stream the one time when we was roasting just pearly things? Oh man, you gotta watch that. That was a classic. That was a classic, man. I was like, man. Oh man, how many of y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that when Hotep Jesus pulled up? Man, that was hilarious, man. You never know who's gonna pop up over here, man. For real, it'd be wild.
Surrounding the investigations into the murder of Diddy's best friend, Biggie Smalls, and that crossed over into the Tupac Shakur murder investigation. Phil Carson joins me now. Phil, thank you for doing it. Happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter. Thanks for having me.
So, give us the For Dummies version for people who aren't 6 layers deep into hip hop about what.
Yeah, man, we chopped it up for like 5 hours, bro. It said that's in the archives. You gotta search for that bad boy. You see, shout out to Mimi, Lloyd Sky 9. They remember, man. When I tell you that was comedy. When I tell you that hilarious stream. Yeah, it was late, bro. It was that, that was one of them late night joints. That was one of them joints that I started at like 1:30 in the morning. That was hilarious. That was like 6 hours of straight comedy.
Could be going on here with the investigation of Combs?
Well, the allegations are that he was involved in a lot of drug trafficking, gun trafficking, human trafficking.
Right. So now, okay, so you see what they said the allegations are. Okay. Now as we're getting into the time frame of we need to start moving past allegations and there needs to start being some indictments or some charges. Would you guys, if you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
And HSI is not going to try to obtain and then execute search warrants at his mansions unless they have some good probable cause to put in the affidavit, and the judge isn't going to sign off on it unless there's something there. So
right.
Okay, so again, these are all questions that we asked, and what was presented to the judge that convinced the judge to sign, right? And what have they found thus far? So again, what we have here is another segment, content creation based on speculation. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Right.
It makes you
now,
think that
we've all been assuming, Phil, that this is about drug, guns, and young women or men or whatever being trafficked for sexual purposes. You're saying, yeah, there could also be another angle, which is this older area of concern about Combs' criminality. Why do you think it, and what could be the connection?
Well, Keffe D has always stated that he was going to be paid $1 million or just over $1 million by Sean Combs to take out and kill Tupac. Now, Keffe said he never received that.
Now, I'm not really, I want to make a disclaimer here. I'm not a Tupac mystery and Biggie mystery conspiracy historian. So I'm not really up on all of that. So I'm going to ask for you guys' help if there's anybody that knows. Has anybody else heard that Keffe D was offered $1 million by Diddy to do that? I never heard that. Now, I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm just saying in that realm of content, I'm not familiar with that information. So I don't want to sit here and say whether that is true or not, or is likely that it isn't true, because I don't know. That, you know what I'm saying? That I wish that like I had like one of the people. I bet you actually Moxie would probably know that kind of stuff, but I don't know. So let me know if you guys know. You know what I'm saying? Have you guys ever heard that about Keffe D?
By Sean Combs to take out and kill Tupac.
I'm gonna run that back so everybody can hear that full sentence.
Going to be paid $1 million or just over $1 million.
My bad. I'm trying to get it. Okay, let's go right here.
What could be the connection?
Well, Keffe D has always stated that he was going to be paid $1 million or just over $1 million by Sean Combs to take out and kill Tupac. Now, Keffe said he never received that full $1 million. But ever since Keffe was arrested and they executed a search warrant on his house in Las Vegas, he's coming up on trial in June. And when people start coming up to trial, they start talking.
All right, now here's my question for you guys. All right, they said that he's coming up for trial in June. If you're not part of the Discord, make sure that you guys join the Discord. All you got to do is just hit the link that's in the chat. If you guys want me to cover that Keffe D trial, like if y'all want me to live stream it, if that's a story that you guys are interested in and want me to follow, give me a thumbs up in the chat. If that's not something that you guys are interested in, give me a thumbs down. I want certain trials that you guys are interested in. I want to try to start getting live coverage on them if I can, but I got to be able to plan for it so I can have the time to be at home to do it. So that's why, like, you know, if it's something that you guys ain't interested in, I'm not going to put away that block of time, you know what I'm saying, and do it. And it's not something that y'all want to see. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, Mike Mellis John. What's good with you, bro? You know what I'm saying? So if you guys are interested in that Keffe D trial, I'm going to try to, you know what I'm saying, budget away some time so we can check it out. Maybe Mofax will co-host that with me. You know what I'm saying? You down to co-host that with me, Mofax? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? Mofax said Keffe D was self-snitching on Vlad, bro. They all go on Vlad and self-snitch and then wonder what happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? At some point, you just have to be like, you know what? I mean, you got these news outlets sitting there calling. You have to understand this, right? There's a group of people that think that they have the right to write, record, and rewrite everybody's history. Vlad is a part of that group of people. Now, that group of people I could be talking about is the DJ Vlad production team, or it could be another group of people. But the fact that somebody called DJ Vlad a hip-hop encyclopedia is excruciatingly disrespectful. And it's also excruciatingly annoying that people have allowed and supported Vlad to build a damn near monopoly over being a media outlet for parts of our narratives. It's infuriating that some of these people are just so, I don't even know how to describe, I don't know how to use adjectives to describe them that would just not sound utterly disgusting and demeaning. And I don't want to do that, but it's highly annoying. You know what I'm saying? It's highly annoying. Shout out to Val. You see what Val said? Val said, I remember about 6 months ago, Keffe D said that Diddy offered him some money to delete Tupac. It's going to get interesting, man. Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that information about Diddy will result from the Keffe D trial? Do you think that there's going to be more information that compiles onto what we're talking about now that comes out with that Keffe D trial? Let me know what y'all think. And real quick, shout out to everybody. We got 46 people watching and we got 46 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 60, that'd be great.
And they start saying things that they normally would take to the grave. So who's to say what he might be providing in regards to information regarding Sean?
Well, one thing you and I agree in, the idea of somebody taking anything to the grave, those days are long over. This is a talker's business, especially the hip hop world. When these guys get jammed up, they tell a story 9 times out of 10.
Now, Chris Cuomo being Italian, you know what I'm saying? He's directly aiming at like being anti-black. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that a mob boss would talk about a black person. That's the way that those scumbags in New York used to talk about Frank Castle and Nikki Bonds. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just peep game on that. Just peep game on that.
Start coming up to trial, they start talking. And they start saying things that they normally would take to the grave. So who's to say what he might be providing in regards to information regarding Sean.
Well, one thing you and I agree in, the idea of somebody taking anything to the grave, those days are long over. This is a talker's business, especially the hip hop world. When these guys get jammed up, they tell a story 9 times out of 10. So that's why Suge Knight is in prison. The idea that he turned himself in, as anybody can just Google and see, he had lots of guys flip on him, and that's why he is where he is. Now, why do we?
Now you see how, again, like you see that culture, right? Chris Cuomo got real comfortable with talking about the guys flipping and this, that, and the other. Where you know about all that stuff from? They some New York cats. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
We believe that this guy Keffe D knows anything about Combs' involvement in Tupac, and that would be compelling to the feds.
Well, Keffe D is considered an OG from LA, so an original gangster. I mean, he's from way back in the day. He rubbed shoulders with a lot of important people, a lot of bad guys, was involved in a lot of bad stuff himself.
Now, again, right, we all know that Trump was too. Trump used to work directly with people like, you know what I'm saying, like all those gangsters in New York. He knew them all. But notice how they never talk about Trump like that. Well, see there. Shout out to Mo Facts. There you go, right there. I didn't even know that, but like again, it literally just came out. It just came out of Chris Cuomo. You got him sitting up there talking, literally sounding like a wise guy. You know what I'm saying? And then Mo Facts, there it is. Look into Chris Dad's past, heavy mob ties. That's that New York stuff that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It just boom, all of a sudden now we got Chris the Butcher. We got Chris the Butcher Cuomo up there talking tough. As if he wasn't sitting there singing to CNN to try to keep his job. You know what I'm saying?
He knows a lot of information. So you really got your people are trying to weigh, because we don't know what this what the evidence is directly revolving Keffe in his case, and potentially him providing information that can carry over into the Diddy case. So when these HSI agents, I mean, there's a high bar in terms of executing a search warrant on a huge public figure like Sean Combs. They're going to make sure that they have all their T's crossed and I's dotted, because they know the national or international media attention that this is going to get, and they don't want to look like idiots. So there's got to be something there, obviously, that they were expecting to find in Diddy's house.
Do you think that Sean Combs had something to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur or the earlier shooting of Tupac Shakur?
So now here goes my question. This is all nice and this is all cool, but what is this doing to help us with, did P. Diddy sex traffic or not? Shout out to Val. This individual here, I believe, was a, oh yeah, see right there on the screen, former FBI agent. And I gotta agree. If you guys agree with Carlton, this country was founded by gangsters, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Absolutely.
I would venture on the side of no, but at the same time, we're going to see a lot of that evidence play out. I mean, nothing happened for what, 27 years, and suddenly something new came up, and we just can't put our finger on it. Nobody knows because everything's under seal regarding why they finally arrested Keffe D. So something new, evidence-wise, had to come out.
Or either maybe they just actually decided to start working on it. Maybe that's what happened. Like maybe they just literally were sitting around not doing anything. Maybe somebody just decided to get up off their ass and start working that day. Maybe that's what would you guys agree? Like that's a possibility that we could explore too. Maybe somebody just actually decided to work for their paycheck that day.
In the last year, in order for them to obtain that search warrant and ultimately arrest Keffe. And like I said, he's going to trial here in the next few months, and all that's going to come out then.
Now, again, when it comes to Keffe, right? Again, all this is good. All this is fun. What is this doing to convince us that P. Diddy is going to go to trial for sex trafficking? Oh, man, I'm dead. I'm dead. Can't Stop Our Love says, how dare you besmirch Puff Daddy's name? And he's my idol and inspiration. P. Diddy is love. Shout out to Can't Stop Our Love. Man, I'm dead. Hey, you know that you've made it on YouTube when you got accounts that come into the comment section with names like that and make comments like that. Like that's that shit that I live for right there. You know what I'm saying? I need more of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't made it on YouTube until you have some nonsense like this in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Can't Stop Our Love, man. Shout out to Can't Stop Our Love. Man. That's hilarious. My man pulled out the big guns, though. He said besmirched. Now I'm gonna have to just anytime anybody. Oh man, if anybody ever comes in my comment section and besmirches me, man, it's about to be game on. Oh man, the overuse of the word besmirch is imminent.
Or it's already come out because they're busting on Combs right now. So obviously, if he had anything to offer them, they must be somehow aware of it. Otherwise, logically, it doesn't make sense. But Phil Carson, I appreciate very much as we're trying to figure out why this is happening. This is
shout out to Mike
grist
Nice.
for
What's
the
good
mill.
with it, bro?
Thank you, and happy Easter again.
All right, so there's that. All right, yeah, happy Easter to Chris Cuomo. Why don't you go suck an egg? Hey, that's what Chris Cuomo should do for Easter. Go suck an egg. You know what I'm saying? So since we're talking about Suge Knight sends a warning to Diddy amid investigations. Your life is in danger. So I mean, like, this just struck me as kind of interesting because, again, like I said, I didn't really know that Diddy and them had interactions like that. You know what I'm saying? With Suge Knight. The last that I knew, you know what I'm saying, Diddy and Suge Knight were besmirching each other. You know what I'm saying? That sounds weird, don't it? There was that one of them Diddy parties besmirching each other. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Can't Stop Our Love says making the band changed my life, buddy. I voted instead of dying. Oh no, did you vote for Biden? That's worse than death. Oh man, please don't besmirch your vote again by voting for Biden. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Suge Knight sends warning to Diddy amid investigations. Your life is in danger. I bet you Suge Knight was sitting up there looking just like that too. You next. That's probably what he said. He just called him and said, you next. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what they say here. As pending investigations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs continue to heat up, more and more people are chiming in on the situation. Aside from figures like 50 Cent, who has offered his commentary on every single update thus far, Suge Knight has now added to his reactions to the mix. In a new clip obtained by TMZ, the Death Row Records founder spoke on Diddy's situation during an alleged outtake from his Collect Call podcast. Oh, okay. So it wasn't no actual phone call. It was the Collect Call podcast. I didn't know they had a Collect Call podcast. Y'all ever watched Suge Knight's podcast? I ain't never watched it. Is it any good? Shout out to John Guillory. What's good with you, bro? I ain't never checked out the Suge Knight podcast. Should I? Y'all ever watched it? Do they got it on YouTube? Is it on Rumble? You know what I'm saying? It's a bad day for hip hop, for culture, for black people, he began. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, here go my question, man. Let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think about that statement? It's a bad day for hip hop, for culture, for black people. Why? Let me ask y'all this. Is it a bad day for white people when Trump be in court? Well, I don't understand why people say, like, I don't understand why, like, what are we, like, it was also a bad day for black people when Diddy was trying to derail politics, trying to hijack political movements, like, but Suge Knight didn't say nothing about that. Oh, man, that's wild right there. Hey, you better go, all these attorneys that I've been showing on these articles and you ain't called and said nothing yet. You better go call you one of them attorneys. But can I ask you why you let him do it, though? Why did you let him do that? Shout out to MoFax. MoFax says, when is it a good day for black people? Every day is a good day for black people. Every single day is a good day for black people. You know what I'm saying? Every single day. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why every single day is a good day for black people is because we wake up us, and then as we look around in the world, we look in the mirror and say, whew, we could be them. You know what I'm saying? Whew, you know what I'm saying? Man, thank God. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, that's what they say about us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta say that. We gotta say that. Whoo, man. Next time you see one of your people, you know what I'm saying? Go shake their hand and be like, man, whoo, thanks. You just reminded me. Dude, what'd you remind me of? Man, I forgot to be happy this morning because I'm not you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's always a reminder, man. Anytime you see one of them folks, thank them. You know what I'm saying? That they decided to take that body and you got yours. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, I'll tell you what, Puffy, your life is in danger because you know the secrets. Who's involved in that little secret room you guys are participating in? They're going to get you if you can. So again, what this is Suge Knight is saying some speculation. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how long this is. Let me see. Okay, so hold on. This is 32 minutes long, this Suge Knight podcast, but apparently Suge Knight got a podcast. I wonder if he the one that wrote up the Just Pearly Things contracts. They sound like it the way they was doing them contracts, but that's crazy. Let me ask y'all, do y'all agree with Oh man. Shout out to Can't Stop Our Love. Can't Stop Our Love says P. Diddy represents black excellence in Satanism. I smell besmirchment. I smell a little bit of besmirchment, and it smells like leather and rotten collard greens, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I smell a little bit of besmirchment in that. And I gotta agree with Val. Shout out to Val. Val says instead of worrying about this, the white media should be worrying about BRICS devaluing the dollar. You know what I'm saying? What I think people should, we're gonna talk about it. I think people really need to start paying attention to what's going on with Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. How many people agree that people should start paying attention to what's going on with Bitcoin? If you guys agree that people should start paying attention to what's going on with Bitcoin, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't, then give me a thumbs down. I think that even if people aren't paying attention to what's going on with Bitcoin, I think that within the next 2 to 4 months, if you weren't paying attention, it's going to be all up in your face because of how crazy things are getting. Because it's getting kind of crazy. Shout out to Sabrina over on Twitter. What's good with it? What's good with it? What's good? I didn't know that the Twitter comments showed up. That's what's good. We got 17 people over on Twitter and only Sabrina commenting, man. Shout out to Sabrina. So now here it says he also mentioned Diddy's Brother Love moniker, which that's an interesting name. The name he assumed in 2017 would not be a favorable name to go by if he does wind up in jail. Brother Love is not a good code name for prison, Knight added while giving the rapper some real advice. Said advice included saying that Combs should turn himself in. Now here's turn himself. Is that good advice? Now here's the thing, right? This is why I say it's not good advice. It's, again, me saying that this is not good advice is not me caping for Diddy, right? But what would Diddy turn himself in for? Like, he's not under arrest and nobody's looking for him, and he's not evading the arrest process right now. So what would he turn himself in for? John Guillory said, quote unquote, king of the platforms. Yeah, I wish, man. I'm trying to be king of the Bitcoin. I'm trying, man, listen here. Shout out to Deneen Grant. I'm trying to be king of the Bitcoin. I'm about to change my name to 50 Bits. B-Unit. We can get the mining popping. We ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? The halving is going down. It's coming around. 50 Bits. You know how we get down. So now here it says Knight also turned himself over to the authorities in 2015 after a deadly hit and run in West Hollywood in California. Yeah, so see, Suge Knight hit and run, right? And then he turned himself in. He was wanted for that hit and run. Diddy's not wanted for anything as of right now. Oh, damn, that's wild, right? See, man, I'm telling you, Can't Stop Our Love he about to put out the Netflix special. Can't Stop Our Love said the song last night changed my life when something dramatic happened to him. That is crazy work, man. That's wild, man. We got chat. We got chat box testimonies in this bad boy today. You know what I'm saying? We got chat box testimonies in this bad boy, man. That's crazy, man. You need to look, man. Write it all down and send it to somebody. Don't let them steal your story. Keep your publishing. Shout out to Carlton Way. Carlton Way said Diddy should turn himself in for the culture. Man, facts. For the culture. Do it for the culture. Listen. Suge Knight ain't giving no good advice here. Things are only getting more intense for Diddy as his Los Angeles and Miami homes were raided on Monday afternoon. Blah, 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 blah. So we all know this. So Suge Knight just basically trolling. Your life is in danger. I thought they actually had a conversation. I thought it was actually during an actual collect call. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. It was on the Collect Call podcast. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Deneen. What's good with you, Deneen? So now this is some interesting stuff, right? Now we're going to talk about 50, all right? 50 reacts to his ex. So 50 was dating this ex named Daphne Joy, one of the Instagram, troop. You know what I'm saying? 50 react. So in that song, I Get Money, when 50 Cent said, have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire, I guess he was talking about her. I don't know. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. But when you start getting named in Diddy lawsuits, that's when I'll care. You know what I'm saying? Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. But when you named in Diddy lawsuits and they call you a sex worker, that's when I'll care. 50 Cent reacts to ex Daphne Joy being named in Sean Diddy Combs' lawsuit. I didn't know you was a sex worker. Really? Shout out to Adrian Hicks. Can't Stop Our Love says, quote unquote, what's beef got me into Bad Boy. I don't even want to know the details on that. Please don't give us any details on that. What if we said we believe you 100%? If we all said that we believe every word that you said, would you promise to not give us any? would you would you promise to not give us any details? You giving us all the inside information? You know what I'm saying? I know most media outlets don't do this, but it is okay if you share your story. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely okay if you share your story. You for real don't have to give it all to us. That's a great question, Mo. That's a great question. That would be an interesting Twitter war. That would be a very interesting Twitter war. Now that would make some good reaction content. That would make some very good and very interesting reaction content. That would definitely make some good reaction content. I have a feeling we won't see it though. But my question is, how did 50 Cent not know Homegirl was a sex worker though? How do you not know a chick is a sex worker unless she's actually hiding it from you? But if she's in this circle with all these celebrities, I don't think that she was hiding her activities from anybody. So after having a kid, I didn't know you was a sex worker. I don't know, man. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? There they go right there. So let me see. Hold on. Just got this. Okay. Yeah, here's where the article starts. 50 Cent's ex Daphne Joy was accused of being a sex worker involved in Sean Diddy Combs' alleged sex trafficking rings, and he's making jokes about it. I didn't know you was a sex worker. 50 Cent, born Curtis James Jackson III, captioned an Instagram picture of himself standing in the rain, smoking a cigar, holding an umbrella on Thursday. 50 crazy. He said, "You little sex worker." He continued before adding, "Yo, this blank is a movie." Several followers reacted in his comment section. I told myself I would stay away from making comments, but this caption got me crying, one fan wrote. Yep, it's official. He gives no F's about anything, a second person said. This is why I love 50. No one is safe, a third noted. Joy, who is 37, briefly dated the In the Club musician who is 48 in 2011 before the pair welcomed a baby boy, Sire, in 2012. The pair split shortly after their son's birth. The accusations against Joy. So Joy got accusations against her first arose after one of Diddy's former employees, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, named the OnlyFans model and 2 other women as alleged sex workers for Combs in a court document filed last month. So how many people knew about that? If y'all knew about that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all didn't know about that, give me a thumbs down. But what I'm trying to figure out is, how did 50 not know homegirl was a sex worker though? Like, how you have a kid by this chick and you don't know what's going on with her like that? Like, that's kind of wild to me. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, in the docs obtained by the Post, Jones claimed that Joy was allegedly one of 3 women that Combs, quote unquote, bragged about paying a monthly stipend for their sex work. So she was putting in work for the pay. The Post reached out to Joy for a comment. Now, see, again, right, if this is the case, they should be able to show, unless, of course, you know, he was washing the money and using some cash transactions, or, you know, using some dark web cryptocurrency or something like that. They should be able to show some repeated intervals of monthly transactions or something like that between Diddy and this woman here. In a statement to Page 6, Combs' lawyer denounced the legal accusations against Joy, stating Jones was shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday. Now, my question is, if he was looking for an undeserved payday, why would he name this? Why would he name her? Why would he name her? You know what I'm saying? Lil Rod is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit, Diddy's lawyer Sean Hawley said. His reckless name dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply didn't happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate actions against those who make them, he continued. Joy has yet to make a public statement on the claims. Jones also claimed in the lawsuit that the music executive allegedly sexually assaulted him when the pair collaborated on his latest album between September 22nd and November 23rd. He claimed that he was, quote unquote, forced to solicit sex workers as well as perform various sexual acts in front of Combs. He said that he was forced. What do you guys think about that? He said that he was forced. Like, how? You know what I'm saying? Like, and like that, and not saying that it's not possible. I you know what I'm saying? And you're a dude. Like, I don't, this is just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, how? He claimed that he was forced to solicit workers as well as perform various acts in front of Combs. I mean, just these are, man, I ain't trying to be funny, man, but like, if somebody start, like, there's a lot of weird allegations and just weird stuff like this that just comes out all the time about Diddy. Like, I ain't trying to be funny, man, but like, I'm gonna have to. I would have to roll up on, like, if like, let's just say that these were made up allegations, and you just saying like this kind of like wild, crazy stuff. I'm gonna have to come see you, man. Like, I'm gonna have to be like, yo, man, like, man, come here, man. Let me holler at you real quick, man. You crazy as hell, man. Who you making this crazy stuff up about? Like, it's just wild to me, like, how there can be no like eruption behind any of this. Shout out to Gail at night. Now that's a possibility. Gail said somebody probably drugged him. Now that could have happened. But like, yeah, bro, like, man, you can't like the kind of rumors and speculation going on around Puffy, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, somebody would have to get caught in the parking lot because this just too wild. Like, you can't be going around saying all this kind of wild stuff about me. But it don't never happen though. So that's weird. Diddy got Diddy's angels, you know what I'm saying? Like he up here drugging dudes and saying you gotta mess with these 3 mail order IG chicks that I bought, or else, you know what I'm saying? That's just another world that these people live in. Like I wouldn't even think to do no stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit just weird. Additionally, Jones claims that, so there you go. Shout out to Gail. She guessed it. Jones claimed that he was drugged and subsequently raped during a February 2023 party he attended with the Coming Home singer. The lawsuit, hold on real quick. Damn. The lawsuit follows a wave of similar accusations that have followed the bad boy hitmaker. Last year, Combs settled a lawsuit filed by his longtime girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, which claims Diddy repeatedly raped and abused her. Amid Jones's lawsuit, Combs' home in California and Florida were raided by Homeland Security, who managed to seize many of Combs' phones and computers. So then they put like a timeline of all the events. Then out here they go on to talk about stuff that we already know. We already know about all the details of everything that they've done to the house. We're waiting for evidence to come out. But this is what they're talking about as far as Daphne Joy being named in Sean Diddy Combs' lawsuit. How many of y'all, what would y'all do if y'all found out that your baby mom was a sex worker? What would y'all do if you found out your baby mom was a sex worker? She do a little something strange for some change, and then you messed around and had a kid by that chick. You know what I'm saying? How do you do that? How does one do that? Hey, what's up with these dudes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, 50, one of my favorite rappers, for real. But like, man, like these cats, like, how do you come from the street life and then like you just get gamed by these IG chicks? Like, it just, is the IG chick game really that tight where like they just running it on dudes like that? Like, man, it's just wild out here, man. Like they I mean, you can't get mad. Like it's a buyer economy. You can't get mad at them. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, what's up with the dudes? Shout out to Mike. Mike said maybe she got into that stuff after she and 50 broke up. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, that's just 50 Cent's ex, Daphne Joy, mother of his son Sire, named in Diddy's sex trafficking lawsuit. Diddy looks happy in the picture. Man, just like, bro, like, just a mat, like, this, you know what I'm saying? Like, this right here is like, if you're her in the middle, this is what you've been doing in the past. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, people really want that attached to them. Like, they don't be caring, man. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just wild, man. But you don't, like, these dudes don't have no standards, which is wild, man. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, that shit crazy. But anyway, 50 Cent's ex Daphne Joy, whom with he shares a son, Sire, has been named in one of the sexual assault lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs. So, and looks like they just go on to say basically about the same stuff, you know what I'm saying, that we talked about. So we're not going to spend too much time on that. That's just I'm just shocked, but like that's just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just crazy, man. Like what do these cats be doing? What do they be thinking? This Daphne Joy chick, you know what I'm saying? She'll probably get like a reality show out of this or something. She gonna make it big. It's amazing, like the way that you can recreate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just doing wild stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Who is Daphne Joy? 5 things to know about 50 Cent's ex named in Diddy's trafficking lawsuit. 50 Cent's ex, Daphne Joy, with whom he shares his son Sire, was named in a sex trafficking lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. In February of 2024, music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones sued Diddy for sexual harassment and misconduct. All right, so they go on and just give us the story about that. What does Daphne Joy do for a living? Well, I mean, if she's a sex worker, you know what I'm saying? Clearly, she rides pogo sticks for pay. Right? Joy is an actress and model. What movies has she been in? Can anybody name a movie that she's been in? Shout out to Vega. Shout out to Carlton. Yeah, the IG community is getting these dudes left and right. So, yo, all these dudes be talking about all these chicks that they be messing around with. Like before, you know, if you listen to the music, all they talk about is how they be messing around with these dope dime piece women in the hood where they be at. So then when you get into the music industry, or when you get into Hollywood, and you know what I'm saying, you got access to the Instagram models and celebrity females, you don't know how to conduct. Like if you're around dimes in your street capacity, it shouldn't be difficult to transfer that skill of being around dimes in the celebrity industry, but you just go all out. I don't understand that. That's like being a basketball player, having your pick of cheerleaders, and then you get to the NBA and you just got to have a kid with everybody because you just ain't never dealt with chicks of that caliber before. Like that don't make no sense. Like something's not right here. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's lying. Like these cats, these rappers make all these videos about how they doing it in the hood. They smashing all these chicks. They getting all these dime pieces. They could just get any female that they want, making all the songs about it. They got the game and all that. And then they just, you know what I'm saying? They come into some money, and next thing you know, they getting ruined by an IG chick. These IG chicks, I mean, are these like street? Are these women street? They got street smart, like, you know what I'm saying? They around the hood too, getting street game. Like they gaming the gangsters or the alleged gangsters. Like on Cameron Jones said, a man is only forced into sexual acts when 3 or 4 big dudes like Suge Knight hold you down, so another dude can take it, like on Pulp Fiction. Yeah, that don't sound fun. So they said that Joy is an actress and a model, booking cameos in movies Frankenhood, Venice Heat, and Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't know she was in any of that. On Stranger Tides and Setup. She also has launched her own eponymous fashion line, designing pieces with a woman's curves and comfort in mind. Has always been a dream of mine. Really? Even before you developed curves? Like, shut up, lady. A description on the brand's website reads, striking, minimally bold, classic silhouettes will always be the intention behind every piece. I hope you feel every bit of beautiful as you wrap yourself in our signature buttery, soft stretch fabric. Okay. When did 50 Cent and Daphne Joy date? Joy and 50 Cent dated between 2011 and 2012, breaking up a few months after their son Sire was born. They have since remained relatively quiet about their relationship status. Since I've been in the industry, I've learned to be a very private person and not take things so personally, Joy privately told Esquire, Malaysia, in December of 2013. When people are interested in you, whether it's good or bad, they're going to dig up what they want. She continued at the time, it's up to you to have your game face on always and not make a bigger spectacle of the situation that it is. Everyone goes through hardships and obstacles. It's just unfortunate that some people have to go through it with such a big magnifying glass over them. I don't think that that's unfortunate. And the reason why I don't think that's unfortunate is that's the cost of doing business. Like if you're a celebrity and the reason why you're worth so much money is because people pay to see you. People want to see you. Nobody cares what I got going on because I'm not a celebrity. So when I got some serious stuff going on, really nobody's going to care. Because I don't make my money from being in the public eye. I don't make money from people looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about it. Win, lose, or rug. They signed up for it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, it's sad. You sign, like, the reason why you're paid is because there's a magnifying glass on you. Now, if a magnifying glass is on you, people can see you. But when the sun is shining through that magnifying glass, you're going to get burnt. I mean, that's just how it works. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of stuff. But with me, because I have such a loving family, they've kept me so grounded and together that I don't even feel alone. I don't know if I agree with that. I bet you her family racist as hell, and they do not like her dealing with all these black men. And not because there's anything wrong with the black men, you know what I'm saying? Because we all know that Asians got a lot of anti-black issues. They probably be saying all kind of stuff, but they be silent when them checks come in. I bet you her family was pissed. I bet you she showed him a picture of 50 Cent and her family was pissed and saying all kinds of stuff in all kinds of different languages until she showed him how much 50 Cent was worth. And then they kind of just probably didn't say nothing about it. Because that's how a lot of them people be getting down, man. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these people, if they dealing with a black dude, they don't appreciate it. They think that they just like they think that it's supposed to be a cleanup man. And that's what I'm saying about 50 Cent. Like, I don't understand why you'll be dealing with a chick like that that's a sex worker anyway. Like, you lower your value when you a cleanup man. Stop being a cleanup man. The hell? Let the janitor clean up. Like, we should, if you ask me, we should strive for the best of everything. You know what I'm saying? This dude had a kid with a chick that's a sex worker. Like, that's just wild, man. That's wild. How is Daphne Joy involved in the sex trafficking lawsuit against Diddy? Like, this is the woman right here. Like, imagine if the mother of your kid is this woman right here. Like, she's a body capitalist involved in a trafficking lawsuit. Like, good God. That's what you had a baby with. And on top of it, that chick ain't nothing but trash. She's a body capitalist, and her family probably don't even like you because they're some racist Asians. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, that's just wild. Just like, imagine this, right? Like, her parents probably know something about her, you know what I'm saying, and doing the sex work and all of the OnlyFans and all of that. And they got the nerve to look down on a black man that she's dealing with because it's a black man, but your daughter's a thought. Like, that shit is crazy, man. Like, the anti-blackness is just crazy. Like, these people, like, people really got to sit back and conceptualize how much nerve these people have. Like, this is a trash female, and I bet you her, like, and 50 Cent is a billionaire. And I bet you her family got the nerve to look down on 50 Cent. Like, man, that's the crazy level of stuff that we dealing with in the world. Like, your daughter is toilet sludge. You better be just happy that somebody like will touch her without a glove on. Like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Shout out to Carlton Way. Carlton Way said, remember 10 years ago, dudes was bragging about riding foreign and dating foreign. That was the thing back then. Yo, facts. Which is wild. Like, I mean, I ain't trying to be funny because, like, bro, they don't look at you as American here. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't look at us as we're as part of American society. You know what I mean? Like, they don't acknowledge our Americanness. They look at us as anti-American. They define us as anti-American. Despite the fact that we're more American than they are. America in its true form. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just wild. Like, this is what I need people to do, man. I need people to really start enforcing your self-worth. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree you need to enforce your self-worth, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't agree, then give me a thumbs down. Enforce your self-worth. I don't think that people enforce their self-worth enough. Gotta enforce your self-worth, man. Like, you can't, like, let me just shut up. I'm not even going there anymore. Joy is one of the alleged sex workers who used to get a monthly stipend from Diddy, according to Jones' February 2024 lawsuit. Diddy has denied the claims, and Joy has not publicly addressed them. 1 month after Jones' filing, Homeland Security raided 2 of Diddy's residences in Los Angeles and in Miami in connection to a federal sex trafficking investigation. Diddy was not at home at the time, nor has been formally arrested or charged at the time of publication. Okay? So again, they have to keep, I want you guys to keep reiterating that. When they stop reiterating that, what that's going to mean is that they got something. Shout out to Alonda. Like, man, have some self. 50 is a billionaire. You are a billionaire. You're a billionaire, bro. A sex worker should not have your kid. You know what I'm saying? Unless a freak accident happened. Unless you was having a little bit too much fun and forgot to stop at Circle K on the way to the hotel. But even then, I mean, you got to be thinking responsibly. You're a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're at that caliber, the person that you have kids with, you should be making a long-term plan for longevity with that person. You shouldn't have kids with a sex worker. Like, you're worth more than that. Like you're a millionaire or you're a billionaire. Like, you shouldn't just give being a father away to someone who is a human body fluid disposal. That woman is a human body fluid disposal. She's a walking biohazard bin. You know what I'm saying? You, 50 Cent is a walking bank. You're a walking economy, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're a walking asset. You're a walking real estate. And you had kids with a human biohazard disposal. Like, come on, man. You had a child with a locker room floor. Like, come on. Like, you got, like, people got to start putting these kind of things in perspective. And like, I'm not trying to be funny, man, but the family probably so racist, they're looking at 50 Cent like he should be lucky that he's dealing with her. You're never lucky if the person you have a child with is simply a body fluid disposal. You're not lucky. It don't matter how racist they family are, you know what I'm saying, and how they think of themselves in comparison to you. The reality is that Daphne Joy is a walking body fluid disposal. Shout out to Talking Grub and Media. What's good with it? But now they're trying to, you know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. I like, I don't know, like, to me, like, that's, and I don't know, man. That's kind of disappointing, you know what I'm saying? And I like 50, but, like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to clown her now, bro, but you got a kid by her, nigga. Like, you can't really do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you may as well not. I mean, like, I don't know, like, keep clowning Diddy, but, like, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know, like, how that looks. What do y'all think? Like, am I wrong or am I right? Like, this is kind of like, you know, you little this, you little that. You had a kid with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, your child came out of that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, at least Diddy was you. If she was indeed doing what they're alleging, at least Diddy had the right idea. And now here I'm not caping. Again, I'm just talking about transactional value. Diddy was dealing with her in a transactional way. You had a kid with her, bruh. Like, just like, you gotta have some self-worth, bro. Like, you can't make yourself as accessible to trash like that. There has to be, like, yeah, I agree. Facts, Alonda. Like, let me ask y'all this: would you agree? And it not even as a class argument, right? Like, if you hold yourself in high esteem, you should limit the access that trash has to you. The more access that trash has to you would decrease your value. Would you guys agree? So, like, to me, like, it would seem like a natural thing of esteem for a dude like 50 to do would be to limit your access to garbage. Shout out to Talking Grub and Media. Talking Grub and Media says, if these rappers and celebs are going to mess with these 304s, strap it up. I agree. And at the same time, though, like, these rappers in a lot of their songs, they sit there and talk about how they're dealing with the 304s on the streets. All of them sit there and brag about that. Okay, so handle these 304s. Like, does the level of difficulty of 304s increase when you get into the game, or what? You got all the street chicks in check. You got all the hood chicks in check, but you're getting ruined by the Instagram models. Like, what's wrong with y'all, man? Y'all looking mad weak out here. Can't be talking that nonsense, man. Something ain't adding up. Like, the math ain't mathing. It's not mathing. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says back in September of 2020, 50 Cent accused Joy, or I'm sorry, back in September of 2022, 50 Cent accused Joy of gallivanting with Diddy via Instagram after she attended the music mogul's iHeartRadio festival performance. Please stop doing this to me. I never bother you. I'm an outstanding mother to our son. Can we please just focus on that? Joy wrote in a since deleted Instagram comment per Complex. Joy doubled down in a since deleted follow-up message on her Instagram. I hate speaking about my private life on social media, but I feel it needs to be addressed. I'm so tired of my narrative being what it is. I was in a 2-year relationship 10 plus years ago and out of the relationship. God blessed me with a beautiful, healthy boy, Joy wrote at the time. Although my child's father and I parted ways, I shifted my focus on my son's well-being emotionally, spiritually, and everything in between. She continued, I've healed privately, matured, have been closer to God than ever before, and really appreciating this life. I just want to be happy and left alone. We are all human, and you never know where life can take you. I'm so tired of defending my character, being prejudged, and constantly being villainized. I'm not doing anything wrong or wish no ill to anyone. I just want to be happy. Joy has not further addressed her connection to Diddy in light of the lawsuit and Homeland Security's investigation. So now they asking, did Daphne Joy date any other celebs? Now, who the other celebs that she dated? 3 years later, Joy and 50 broke up. She moved on with Jason Derulo. That's interesting. Why do you think she went on to date Joy Derulo? Why do y'all think she went on to date Joy Derulo? And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate y'all. If you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please take a moment, smash the like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and share the stream to your social media. We got 32 people watching and we got 66 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 90, that'd be great. Why y'all think she was dating Jason Derulo? What's she seeing him? What's up with that? What's she dating Jason Derulo for? So she went from 50, Jason Derulo, Diddy. When they going to talk about these female predators? But the thing, like my thing too is like, if anybody's ever going to say anything about these female predators, it got to be the dudes. It got to be the dudes, and dudes got to stop just diving into this nonsense. Clearly, these chicks got an agenda. It's clearly a profile and type of person that they get. And honestly, if you ask me, those type of chicks that victimize dudes like that, it literally shows that these dudes don't have a handle on their status as much as they think that they do. And that, then to me, like that, like I don't, me personally as a man, I don't want to be associated with that. Like, man, y'all passing that little skank around. Y'all desperate or something? Like, man, there's a million fish in the sea. What y'all sharing that, you know what I'm saying? What y'all sharing her for? It's nasty. She's a human toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how y'all get down, but like, I really try to avoid using the public bathroom. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no point in putting toilet paper down over a toilet if you're going to dive head first into a woman like that. But I guarantee you, a lot of these cats spray the toilet seat down with Lysol before they sit down, but they'll dive up into her. Like, that don't make no damn sense. And then on top of it, she got a whole ass family that don't like you simply because you're black. Like, why would you deal with all that nonsense? You gotta value yourself. You gotta make yourself, like, it shouldn't be like you got the billions of dollars and you're paying her. Why do you have billions of dollars and you're paying for garbage out of a garbage can? Like, how do you go from people paying millions of dollars to see you perform to you paying thousands of dollars to get performance from trash? Like, that's literal trash. I don't understand. Do y'all understand that? Make it make sense. To me, this kind of mentality and people doing this and falling for this type of thing, it literally shows a disconnect and a weakness and something not there with a lot of dudes. You shouldn't, if you are on the course of having that type of wealth and power, like a 50 Cent type person, you shouldn't even be dealing with that kind of a woman or that kind of a person. Like, you shouldn't have a circle of friends like that. Like, just none of that. That's the first thing that's going to derail you from any type of success that you might be moving towards. Like, it just, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, like, you know, like, people make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And people are redeemable, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, you know, maybe you mess around and you do have a kid by a chick that's less than, you know what I'm saying, socially desirable or whatever. Learn from it and move on. Yeah, like, I did that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made a mistake. I realized I made a mistake. Grow from that shit. Teach other people how to not make the mistake that you made. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, like, you don't see that a lot. And that's what I'm saying. Facts. Shout out to Alonda. Alonda said, Rob, her family immigrated to the United States from the Philippines. You know how most Filipinos feel about black people. Facts. And this is what I'm saying, right? Now, not saying that, you know, 50 Cent couldn't have possibly had a good relationship with her, because that's possible. They could have had a good relationship, right? But in most cases, most non-black people feel that they are better than black people because white people told them so. You know what I'm saying? And so they'll sit here and have an attitude with their daughter and be arrogant towards their daughter. And your daughter has the privilege of being human trash and having access to a billionaire. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, man, people should never, like, people should never give somebody that privilege. You should never get that privilege. If that woman had access to you, she better have access to you because she loves you and she's treating you like a king. Not because, like, you just that damn desperate. Like, man, that's just, like, come on, bro. She's clearly not treating you like a king if she's, you know what I'm saying, named in a sex worker, you know what I'm saying, lawsuit with Diddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? She clearly she's only treating people like a king when she performs. Like, come on, man. Like, really? That's not the move. That's goofy. Like, man, that's a goofy way to move. You gotta act like, where was the guidance that these dudes had, like, on how to navigate stuff like this? Like, it's crazy, man. Like, I know how, out of all the dudes that's watching, how many people's dads told them, like, you got to be careful because, you know what I'm saying, like, it's women out here that could possibly trap you. Don't anybody have, like, the quote unquote trap talk with their sons anymore? Don't anybody warn them of that? Like, these cats get trapped and they try to, like, act like it's some type of a flex now. We're like, didn't you, like, the men in your family or your dad, like, should have told you about that? Like, when you were in high school, like, when you turned 15, yo, son, let me tell you this. This is what you got to deal with now that you got a little bit of hair under your arms. Like, what happened to now you got a little bit of hair under your arms and you wake up funky? Like, the hell? How many people had the, oh, now you got some hair under your arm speech? Like, don't they have that anymore? This is all basic. These dudes be like, it's crazy wild how stupid like hip hop artists be looking. Like they're wildly lost in the sauce and they go around with a smile on their face like they're actually doing something, literally looking stupid to other men. Like, bro, you look dumb. And like, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, you're not redeeming yourself with Twitter trolling. You already lost the battle when you had a baby by a sex worker. Like, it's not, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just move on from that, bro. You made a mistake. Oh man, Carlton said fresh and fit having these talks with the kids instead of the parents. Yeah, that's facts. I mean, that to me, it's just wild, man. And to see so many dudes like that, like, man, what happened to y'all, man? I'm about to clown this chick. It's too late, man. You already clowned yourself, bro. You had a kid with her. like, just move on. Like, other, like, you know, like immature dudes might think that that's kind of funny and snicker about it because they about lost in the sauce too. But like, you can say whatever you want to. But as you're saying that, my guy, you had a baby with her. Like, the hell? Shout out to Alonda. Alonda said, Rob, most women in our community refuse to have the conversation with their sons about how not to be trapped by females. Meanwhile, those same women are molding their daughters to trap boys. Well, my thing is, my dad told me about all that. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is like the way that my dad would tell me stuff, like my dad would scare the dog shit out of me about some shit when he would tell me something. So like I didn't even want to take a chance and question it. Like just whatever he said was law. I might not have liked what he said, but I was so convinced that everything my dad said was concrete. Even if I didn't like that shit, I still listened to it in the back of, and like it didn't matter. Like what it was like my dad told me that. I still operate like that to this day. Certain stuff that my dad told me that. Like that's just it. Like there's nothing else about it. Like my dad told me that's just it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. Yeah, exactly. Lloyd Sky 9 says 50 just likes for everyone else to be on the receiving end of the joke. Unfortunately, he thinks we don't see that he voluntarily became a part of the joke. Right. Like, bruh, like that's what I'm saying. Like that one right there, just leave that alone, bruh. Because at you already lost that battle. Any type of thing that you say about that chick, literally all somebody has to say to defeat your argument is you had a kid with her. What are you gonna say to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me, like, is just wild, man. Like, it's just wild. I'm not trying to be funny, man, but like the younger generation, and 50 is did they say 48? But like this younger generation, man, it's like man, a lot of the males in the younger generation, like, man, y'all are goofy and weak. Goofy, weak, and frail. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, don't even have no damn self-respect. Like, goddamn. Anyway, FBI set to widen Diddy's sex probe over claims rapper boasted about shooting people, bribing jurors, and using J-Lo as a gun mule. So again, like now we're dealing with more speculation and still nothing that came out of those raids. So now here says almost 25 years ago, just after 2:30 a.m. on a cold winter night, 3 New York Police Department detectives were called to Midtown North Precinct. Rap impresario Sean Combs, then known as Puffy, his girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and his bodyguard Jamal Shine Barrow, himself a rapper. I didn't know Shine was his bodyguard, had been arrested following a shooting inside a Times Square club that wounded 3 bystanders. And they never really talked about who he was beefing with involved in that shooting. Do y'all know who he was what was that beef over? Like we never really found out what caused that, what sparked that, who he was beefing with, like none of that. The cops found Lopez, then 30, cuffed in the cage. Combs was also in the station house on West 54th Street. His plans for a spectacular celebration of the new millennium a few days later temporarily on hold. Now the events of that night and the sensational trial which followed it in early 2001 are back in the spotlight. 2 law enforcement sources tell the Post that the infamous shooting and the trial could possibly be reinvestigated as part of a sweeping federal probe into Combs, now 54, and called Diddy, whose past includes more than one mysterious shooting. All right, so now, again, why wasn't this dealt with at the time that it happened? Because literally we were all asking all these questions when that happened. Don't listen to the YouTubers. The YouTubers that tell you that we're all just jumping onto the pileup, but literally everybody was asking about this when it happened. And nobody ever, like nothing ever came out of it. Literally all of this mysterious stuff happening in the hip hop world, people have been asking these questions for decades. Literally nobody's jumping on with the mainstream media because the mainstream media wasn't on this stuff for decades. But people who are in the hip hop world and people who pay attention to hip hop music, people who pay attention to hip hop urban legends and all that, we've been asking these questions forever. A lot of us got hip hop artists that we liked that got swept up in this kind of stuff. A lot of Tupac fans want justice for what happened to Tupac. It was a lot of people that really wanted to see what Shine would do when he got into the industry. Never got to have that chance because of this. He ended up getting deported. These questions were never asked. They were never addressed. They were just swept under the rug. Now, my question is, when it comes to bringing this back up, though, how does that prove anything as far as quote unquote sex trafficking? So Diddy was at the club with J-Lo. And here go my question. What's up? Has J-Lo said anything about her past relationship with Diddy? I don't think she said anything, which I find interesting. She might say something later. She might not. She might try to opportunize on it. She might not. Who knows? On Monday, Homeland Security agents swarmed Combs' home in Los Angeles and in Miami in raids, which law enforcement sources told the Post were prompted by sex trafficking allegations. They got eyes on him in Miami and the feds and are talking to witnesses after witness. New York criminal defense attorney Michael DeSario, who is familiar with the case, told the Post. They're corroborating everything they can, but everything past and present is on the table with Mr. Diddy right now. Okay. So now, again, here goes the question. Why is everything from the past on the table? Now, my question is, what from the past is giving us evidence of sex trafficking? Because remember, again, the question revolves around sex trafficking. That's the question that the mainstream media and law enforcement have brought to light. And that's the question that we're supposed to be answering. Would you guys agree? Those are the questions that we're supposed to be answering. That's what we're supposed to be going over. So where's that information? The federal agents stormed into Diddy's homes 1 month after Rodney Jones filed an explosive lawsuit. So again, we're back to where we are. Now they're sitting there saying Jones compared Combs to Jeffrey Epstein. But what has Jones given them that would allow them to be able to arrest him? This is the mugshot after that shooting in 1999. There goes Shine from back then. Y'all know Shine got deported. Now, this is the Lil Rod dude right here. That's his name. That's Lil Rod right there. I had never seen him before. That's him right there. Okay. So again, when it comes to all of these pieces of information, still all we have is just all speculation and all old information. Why is that all that we have? Here go an article from the Huff Post. Diddy allegations are just the tip of the iceberg. Let me see. Let's see what they're talking about here.
Yet again, Diddy is on my dead wrong list after he allegedly fled the country the day that Homeland Security raided his homes. And
now again, now mind you, right? Let's look at what people have been right about and what they haven't been right about. There's a lot of these people that keep saying Diddy allegedly fled the country, but why was that an allegation? And he didn't flee the country. So who's the people that made those allegations first, and what were they basing it in? And why are people still trusting that information? These allegations came out. People were making the assumption that Diddy fled the country. Come to find out, he's at Top Golf. He's at Top Golf in Miami. Shout out to OG Patrice. What's good with it? Now, who's holding the information integrity? Shout out to my man Mike Nice. Well, Mike Nice says allegedly Diddy was flashing money and someone with loot told him they have money too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I do. That sounds familiar. I remember something like that. Yeah, that sounds familiar. So let's see what they're talking about here.
Yet again, Diddy is on my dead wrong list after he allegedly fled the country the day that Homeland Security raided his homes in Miami and Los Angeles in a sex trafficking investigation. Firstly, the raids are part of, like I said, an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. And we know that Diddy has been accused of violence and sexual abuse by at least 4 people since late 2023. Homeland Security also seized phones from Diddy before he hopped on his jet to the Caribbean. It's unclear if this trip that he took was planned prior.
Now, here goes my question. I don't know who this individual is who's on this video. Has anybody ever seen any content from this person? I don't know who they are. If anybody knows who this is, let me know in the comment section.
But we do know that he left while his adult sons, Justin and Christian King Combs, were seen in handcuffs outside of his Beverly Hills home. Now, Diddy's lawyer told E! News that Diddy spoke to and cooperated with the authorities, and his lawyer also said, quote, that this unprecedented ambush paired with an advanced coordinated media presence leads to the premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. Here are my thoughts on it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. This is not the first time, of course, that Diddy has had legal trouble, but this is the first time that
You know, that saying about where there's smoke, there's fire is interesting, because where there's smoke, there actually really isn't always fire. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's water vapor. But sure, we'll just keep saying that, because one thing that humans like to do is say things that don't make sense and say that they make sense. You know what I'm saying? But okay, you know what I'm saying? So now again, right? I do agree with basically the premise of what she's saying, right? There's a lot of weird stuff surrounding Diddy. It just seems like basically what hasn't happened yet is that the slam dunk piece of everything that ties everything together has just not been either discovered or it just hasn't come out yet, right? But at the end of the day, they have to produce it. So what we're doing is we're looking at what the media has come up with, and we're asking the question, well, have they produced it yet? The answer is they clearly have not produced it. So my question is, why do they keep showing us this nonsense? You know what I'm saying? And why are people not calling out the media for wasting the most scarce resource and the most valuable resource known to man, our time? Because there is no resource that's more valuable than time. There's only two resources that don't replenish themselves: time and Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying?
it's not the first time, of course, that Diddy has had legal trouble, but this is the first time that we've seen his feet be held to the fire at this capacity. I've said this before and I'll say this again. The music industry's Me Too movement is so past due. It's so past due. The same reason why it's late is the same reason why many of these abusers have been able to have this room to take advantage of people who they quote unquote feel like they have power over. These people are just trying to make their dreams a reality, trying to break into a really hard industry to break into, trying to align with people who look like them to get into.
I don't know any sombreros that look like us, at least any of the ones that, like, sombreros. I don't really see any of these people aligning with quote unquote people that quote unquote look like us, because if they aligned with people that quote unquote look like us, instead of talking to News Nation and Fox and all of that stuff, they'd be coming to these platforms telling their story so that we would be the primary source of information. This is a bold-faced lie right here. Yeah, shout out to OG Patrice. OG Patrice says, we love to quote white media without fact checking first. This is why we're not taken serious as black media of black content creators. I believe that there's a lot of truth in what OG Patrice says. And I think that another thing that causes difficulty with the black content creation is that the black celebrities look down on us. They look at us as low quality. They look down on us, and they're not held to the fire. There's no way of making them feel a consequence. They look down on us and they boycott us. Like any of them people would go on Joe Rogan's podcast before they come talk to me. Those people would look down on TD or Torian if TD or Torian asked them to come tell their story, because these people ain't shit. They'll go talk to Mr. Beast before they come talk to one of us. Now, again, like I said, I get it for analytics purpose. You want to try to reach the largest audience, but our audiences would be larger and we'd be more able to compete if they actually did business with us. These people don't do business with us, and then they want to come to us for support when they fallen. Why ain't y'all supporting us? Why the hell don't you come to us and tell us your story? Screw you. You know what I'm saying? Why ain't y'all supporting us? Black people should be supporting us. Well, get your ass over here to our platform and tell your story then. Our platform is here for you to help you support yourself, but you rather go and talk to CNN. You rather go and talk to News Nation. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hang from the rope that you tied yourself up with. It is what it is. People got to start calling, like, the people who would people cannot continue to allow celebrities to railroad us like that. You know what I'm saying? They can't be allowed to continue to do that. That's detrimental. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. It's detrimental for people to continue to allow celebrities to move like that. You're up here dealing with these small hats. You want to, after dealing with the small, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the sombreritos and, you know what I'm saying, and getting screwed over by them, but on a record label, you get screwed over by them in the legal system. You know what I'm saying? Then you want to go to their media and run your mouth on their media, then go to DJ Vlad. Don't you see a pattern? Why don't you try something new for a change? If you keep doing the same nonsense, you know what I'm saying, expecting a different result, that's a clinical condition that you have. That's a clinical condition that you have. And we shouldn't have to be sitting up here giving people life instruction and common sense instruction. If you don't know, if you don't have common sense, then the elements need to do what the elements do to you then. It's survival of the fittest out here. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't fit, then you ain't surviving. And that's just what it is. These people, these celebrities don't realize that they're hurting they're hurting themselves by boycotting our platforms. I mean, we need to call it exactly what it is. It's a boycott. Why should we continue to give these people money? Why should we continue to put funds in these people's pockets, man? They don't even mess with us. And then we the first people they come crying to. They take their sorry selves onto NBC and sit up there and cry to Joy Reid. Hey, the community don't even support us. You didn't support us. And then you still go into somebody else's platform to cry about it. Plastic criminal minded. All right, AB. And fact, shout out to Talking and Grubbing Media. Talking and Grubbing Media said back in the day, black celebs went to Jet and Ebony to talk to our community and made them hot. Now these black celebrities don't want to make people anymore. They don't want to get us on and popping. Yeah, facts. Facts. Shout out to OG Patrice. OG Patrice said Black Enterprise took TMZ's story about Diddy selling his shares in Revolt and ran with it. However, this is not true. The deal is not final and could actually fall through. But this is what being lazy is. That's facts. Not having integrity and information. Let me ask you guys this question. Would y'all rather see an interview with Diddy, or would y'all rather see an interview with like any of these people on News Nation? Shout out to Amy Smith. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoy the content. Would y'all rather see a live stream of, you know what I'm saying, like an interview of Diddy with a YouTuber that you like? It don't even have to be me, somebody that you like. Y'all see what I did there? It don't even have to be me. It could be somebody that you like. You know what I'm saying? Or would you rather see them dealing with, like, if you're dealing with NBC, you're dealing with the same record labels and the same people that you say screw you over. I'm not about to sit up there and feel sorry for you, man. I'm not about to sit up there and feel sorry for you. I'm not about to sit up there and fight your battles either. You're making a lot of critical errors, and your critical errors are causing us issues. You're causing us issues. And you keep repeatedly making these criminal errors, not these criminal errors. You keep making these critical errors out of greed, out of arrogance. I'm too good. Maybe if they actually did business with us, you know what I'm saying? We'd have primary information and people reacting to our content where maybe we actually could get nice platforms. We could actually afford it. We would be able to circumvent the YouTube algorithm. Part of the issue with the YouTube algorithm is not shadow banning. It's that significant Black celebrities deal with white first media. They don't deal with us. They boycott us. It's not all the YouTube algorithm. It's not all a shadow ban. It's if when people sit there and blame their content failure to grow on the algorithm, you're not sharing the blame with everybody who's responsible for that. One of the reasons why Kevin Samuels grew so big is because World Star Hip Hop kept posting his videos. That allowed him to supersede whatever type of shadow ban they got on you because you Black and get him to 1 million subscribers. Just imagine if people quoted our content the way that World Star Hip Hop will quote Kevin Samuels. Just imagine if somebody made a video about reparations, like, you know what I'm saying? Ice Cube saw one of the videos that TD made about him all those damn times and then, you know, skipped over TD's platform when he was doing his podcast tour. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have to pay. You can still go on the Joe Rogan podcast and just give one of us a tweet, but nah, they don't do it. Drake will retweet Elon Musk before he retweets a YouTube content creator defending him from a media attack. These people are sorry, man. Screw them all. And then they try to act sanctimonious, like just everything that they're doing. We're just doing it for the love. You're not doing anything for the love. They doing this for the love of their wallet. That's a large charge that they got to deal with, man. They've been boycotting our platforms, creating problems with the algorithms for us. They got to pay for that, man. These celebrities, they got to get taxed, man. I'm not trying to be funny, man. They need to not get let into the podcaster and content creation space. This is our space. Y'all had y'all time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Talking Grubbin Media. Talking Grubbin Media said Black Tree TV was on the red carpet for the 2020 Grammys, where he tried to get interviews with Black music artists and they wouldn't even look his way. They think it's a flex. Man, if you look at like the you know what I'm saying? Like nobody looks at it like a flex to shit on, you know what I'm saying, up and coming people who are their peers. You know what I'm saying? Like even Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna go rock with Jake and Logan Paul. Like, yo, you look and sound crazy. Like we already know you are, but like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Me Too movement is so past due. It's so past due. The same reason why it's late is the same reason why many of these abusers have been able to have this room to take advantage of people who they quote unquote feel like they have power over. These people are just trying to make their dreams a reality, trying to break into a really hard industry to break into, trying to align with people who look like them to get into rooms that they wouldn't have had access to before.
A lot of that funny stuff was going on in them rooms that everybody don't have access to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the funny business was going on in those type of rooms that you're describing there.
And so for them to abuse that trust, abuse that power, abuse these relationships is sick. This isn't even just about Diddy's allegations. I mean, there have been so many.
So now let me ask you guys this question. Is she reacting to this video from like a reactionary standpoint? Or is she basically saying, you know, the trial's already done and Diddy's guilty. I don't need to see anything else.
Accusations that have piled up against music bigwigs like him, like Russell Simmons or L.A. Reid. I mean, let's just be really honest here. This is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to uncovering the culture of abuse that's long been able to exist in this industry. And just because folks haven't been named in these accusations does not mean they're not complicit. As far as this specific sex trafficking investigation, it's too early to tell who and what may see a courtroom, but I do know that it's not looking too good for Diddy.
Now, here goes my question. What's not looking too good for Diddy? It would look not good for Diddy if there was information that has him in handcuffs with charges. Then I would say things don't look good for Diddy. I don't know how things don't look good when you're not in handcuffs and not being charged with anything. So again, we're waiting for law enforcement and we're waiting for the mainstream media to actually give us a discussion on the evidence. Appreciate you, Amy. On the evidence. I'm combing for all this stuff for evidence. I want to see what they bring to the table so we can look and say, well, with this, he will for sure go down, or with this, he won't go down. They haven't brought us anything yet. And me saying that they haven't brought us anything is not me caping for Diddy. That's me criticizing, well, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cameron. Cameron says, why do you think John Cena just did what he did at the Oscars? This is the entertainment industry. What about Vince McMahon? Facts. And do you guys notice how like the Vince McMahon thing, nobody talked about that like in the capacity that they talking about this? It was other people. Wasn't John Cena and who else? Brock Lesnar was involved in that Vince McMahon thing. They didn't do a lot of exposés. You know what I'm saying? They didn't talk too much about that. Mainstream media, at least. Shout out to Alonda. Alonda said, Rob, there are local black musicians in my community who be always trying to bring folks who look like them together to rally behind them to get their careers off the ground and fail each time. Yeah, trust me, I already know how that go. I've been down that road before. You know what I'm saying? But then if we talk about it though, we sitting up here criticizing people that shouldn't get criticized. No. Don't you do that. Don't you dare. No. Don't you be criticizing people now. You know what I'm saying? So now here says Sean Diddy Combs' feet are being held to the fire after months of public scrutiny and multiple abuse and sex charges, assault allegations are piling on. I think all she did was read this article here. So yeah. So again, now again, right? We gotta compare the data with the article title. The Diddy allegations are just the tip of the iceberg. What iceberg? Because there was literally nothing new talked about in this. Oh, okay. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. No, there's this there's a live stream. I did a live stream on it on BLR1 about the Vince McMahon situation, and Brock Lesnar was named in that. I haven't followed up on it. I need to actually take a look at it and see what's going on with it. Shout out to Tarek. What's good with it, bro? That's another thing I'm gonna try to get better at too, is following up. So again, remember, just the quote unquote tip of the iceberg, right? We already talked about that. So now let me see. How many people heard that Cuba Gooding Jr. is being named as well? Did you guys hear about that? Sean Diddy Combs' accuser adds Cuba Gooding Jr. to sexual assault lawsuit. Everything we know. So now they done brought Cuba Gooding Jr. into it. He punching at the wall like how he was doing in Boys to the Hood. He's swinging at the wall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got you. That's the they got you face. Now, let's see what they're talking about as far as alleging him being involved. What just happened? On March 25th, the same day that two of Combs' properties were raided amid an ongoing sex trafficking investigation, Jones' complaint, which had been filed in federal court against Combs' various associates, was amended to add the Jerry Maguire actor as a co-defendant. Jones claimed, hold on real quick. Jones claimed in the lawsuit initially filed on February 26 that Gooding, who won an Academy Award in 1997, quote unquote, sexually harassed and assaulted him on Combs' yacht. Why was everybody just attacked? Why were all the, can I just, when it comes to this dude named Lil Rod, why were all these men attacking him sexually? Like, that's, I never really encountered anything like that. Jones' allegations against Gooding haven't changed within the complaint. What did change is that Gooding is now named a co-defendant. How did we end up here? Last month, Jones, a producer on Combs' 2023 album, filed the explosive lawsuit against Combs and several associates, alleging that Combs, so we know all of that. We know all of this. The amended lawsuit now lists Gooding as a defendant along with Combs' son, Justin. Sean Combs' Love Records, Motown Records, Universal Music Group, a representative for Gooding, has not yet responded to Yahoo Entertainment's request. Hold on real quick. For comment. Jones, a self-described musical prodigy who taught himself how to play instruments at 13, who taught himself how to play 13 instruments, said he got a call from Combs' team in September of 2022 to produce the Love album Off the Grid. He worked with Combs from September 2022 to September 2023, producing 9 songs that appeared on the album. Jones said he lived with Combs for months during that period, spending holidays, birthdays, and missing major family events. During that time, Jones said he also witnessed drug acquisition and use, the displaying and distribution of unregistered illegal firearms, and other unnamed rappers consorting with underage girls and sex workers. So now my thing, in all of these kind of situations, I always ask the question, if you're witnessing this kind of stuff, why do people not ever say anything about it when they see it? You know what I'm saying? Like these complaints be coming out so late. Not to say that, you know, I mean, but still though, like, just why don't anybody ever say anything about it? You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's just, you know, nobody ever complains about this stuff right when it happens. When is a time when anybody has ever complained about this kind of stuff right when it happened? I don't think there's like any documented case where anybody has ever complained about this kind of thing right when it happened, which if you ask me, that's kind of odd. It always never gets complained about up front, always, all the time, for real. So then they go on and talk about Gooding's previous legal drama. You know what I'm saying? So now they added Gooding, right? But they didn't really say what happened with Gooding. We don't know about any evidence. None has been presented. Nobody's been arrested yet. So now what you're going to see now, and I'm going to show you guys evidence of this, is now the media is bringing up, you know, they're going through the history, looking at old stuff, which is what people do. You got to do that for pattern recognition, right? In a resurfaced interview, Usher recalled seeing quote unquote curious things at Diddy's house when he lived there for a year as 13 years old. Diddy had a lot of people living with him. I don't really like people coming in and out my house all like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to, I'm, you know what I'm saying? I don't really like that. I don't like a bunch of people coming through my house. Diddy apparently, you know what I'm saying? He had several people live with him and not live with him. You know what I'm saying? So now they're bringing up this Usher interview in 2016, resurfacing on the raids, right? Now, Usher recalls seeing curious things, but he doesn't recall seeing illegal things, at least according to the title here. Let me ask you guys a question. Is there a difference between curious things and illegal things? Curious things are things that make you wonder, but they may or may not be illegal. Illegal things are definitively against the law. Shout out to Amy. Amy says, yes, a difference. Yes. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Now, again, you know, curious things can be illegal. You know what I'm saying? They can be, but then again, in some cases, they may not be. Illegal things are always illegal things. And what Usher said was that he saw curious things, not that he saw illegal things. You know what I'm saying? In a 2016 Usher interview has resurfaced following the raids on Sean Diddy Combs' properties. Federal Homeland Security investigation agents conducted raids at Diddy's homes in LA and Miami earlier this week amid a possible ongoing sex trafficking investigation, according to CBS News. Yet again, no binding evidence listed. In the circulating clip of the Howard Stern show, one of them folks, Usher spoke about Puffy's quote unquote flavor camp, which he experienced while living with Diddy for a year in New York while he was 13. Now, don't you find it interesting that Usher got on this Howard Stern show and started talking about stuff that was going on in Diddy's house? Why, can I ask, do people do that? That's like some pre-DJ Vlad type stuff. Can I give people a word of advice that I know people aren't going to take? And the reason why I know people aren't going to take it is because it's still going on. Stop doing that. I mean, like, you know, like, pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Clearly not simple enough. Stop doing that. Hey, what movie was that? The Goonies? Hey, you guys. Stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? So they went on the Howard Stern show and he was talking about some type of flavor camp. In the 90s, Usher exclaimed, "Do you understand what that's like? It was curious," he recalled. "I got the chance to see some things, okay? I went there to quote unquote see the lifestyle. I saw it, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was crazy. There was very curious things taking place. I didn't necessarily understand it." He listed popular artists who hung out at the house, including Biggie Smalls, Lil' Kim, and Mary J. Blige. "You're a dad now," Howard Stern said. "Would you send your kids over to Puffy's camp?" "Hell no," Usher declared. And there's the full clip down there. Let's see. Now, I ain't about to play this because Howard Stern is a son burrito and he probably got them copyrights on lock. He'd be the type of person that'll filed a skin off of a damn copyright complaint and try to get your channel taken down for borrowing a sped up 30-second clip. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm still disappointed in the media and their failure to produce anything really tangible and binding. I'm disappointed in law enforcement. They claim that they have such a solid case. They've done 2 raids and haven't produced anything that any articles can be written about. And all of these are all recent articles. And the only thing that they're coming with is past information and speculation. Now, again, that's not to say that there's not something weird about Diddy, because there clearly is. However, with everything that we have as of right now, there isn't anything that has been produced that has put handcuffs in Diddy, that has put Diddy in a prison cell, or that has even provided enough for there to be charges from the court filed, which I think is something that's important because on YouTube, people tend to run away with their feelings and emotions and let how they feel about a person dictate the facts. I'm going to tell you how I feel about Diddy. I can't stand him. However, based on the standards that we have for prosecuting and bringing something to trial, clearly the standards haven't been met yet. And that's just the facts. And I didn't create those facts. If anybody has a problem with the fact that Diddy's not in handcuffs or in a jail cell, why you're getting upset with YouTubers or people in the comment section is beyond me. The people you should be upset with is law enforcement, because they're the ones that presented an affidavit to a judge claiming they had reasonable doubt to raid his homes. They've raided his homes and have yet to produce anything that has put him behind bars. Why people are making YouTube videos upset about, with everybody except for law enforcement, with everybody except for the media, is beyond me. Probably because, you know, if you make a video going in on CBS, or you make a video going in on ABC, or if you make a video going in on Fox, you're not gonna get as much engagement, you know what I'm saying, or as much interaction on your video as you would if you made a video going at, you know, people's, you know, people that they like in these social media platforms. That's just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't beat reality. Reality will always beat you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that came through. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's try to get those 200 likes. Shout out to the replay gang, hashtag replay gang. We got AB Promotions as the sole stream sponsor. Shout out to my man, AB Promotions. Make sure y'all show him some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji in the chat. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,